I didn't mute you all. So I'm going to mute everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome to Cosmic Conversations. This is Thursday, October 1st, which is wild that it's already October. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. I am Stacie Harder, and my mom is Dr. Heather Harder, who will be she'll be talking in just a second. But this started as years and years and years ago for my mom having a spiritual group and helping people. That being said, I'm not sure why it's pinning only Josie on the video. It's kind of weird. So I'm live streaming it, but it's not showing me, it's showing somebody else. So it's weird. I've never done this. So interesting. It's not exactly what it's supposed to be doing, but we'll just try. All right, well, where we need to be. All right, so that being said, this started many years ago. We've just gone live. And hello. Just kidding. You can hear the repeat. Okay, so we're hearing two microphones. Just change that. Okay, this is designed for people who are wondering what a life worker is, or a light worker, a starseed, a way shower. There's so many things that are actually unfolding on this planet right now, and people are talking about ascension and stuff, but this literally is created to learn how to empower who you are as a person. This is a time to get together, know that you're not alone, and to be the love and light that you were designed to be and destined to be. So I'd like to introduce my mother. My mother is epic. If you don't know who she is a university professor by trade. She is an author. Retired. An author of many books, including Many Were Called, Few Were Chosen, the story of Mother Earth and Earth-based volunteers. She has books from the dimensions on the ascension process from third to fifth dimensions, how to speak to spirits and communication, death, dying, and letting go. There is all kinds of topics and available books that she has out there and ready for you. And again, I'm Stacie Harder. My mom is Dr. Heather Harder. Her website is heatherharder.com, and you can check out her books there, as well as all kinds of information. Sign up for her email list, and you can join us in this live Zoom on Zoom itself. So again, we're here for you. We're here to answer questions. We're in this together. So I'd like to welcome my mother, speaker, entrepreneur, business owner, and teacher, Dr. Heather.
Thank you, Stacie. That was quite an encompassing introduction. I would like to, just remind us of that song, "We Are Family." Da, 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 da.
I got all in me.
And this is our gathering of family on Thursday nights, 6 p.m. Central Time, and you can catch us, if the technology works, on a Facebook live stream, on an Instagram live stream, or in person electronically on Zoom. And so we hope that you mark your calendar and join us each week. We don't have a format. I mean, we have a format, but we don't have an agenda. That every week, lots of different questions come up, lots of different things come up. I get guided. Stacie is very telling of what we're going to talk about. So based on all of that, hi, Christina. Based on all of that, a conversation emerges. And then also, if you feel like you want to guarantee we talk about things that are important to you, you can always email me through the week. And then we'll include your questions when we start on Thursday. For those on the live Zoom, I often do little spirit sprinkles or little mini readings for those people who are here. And so if you want to be a part of that, you have to be on Zoom. With that, our initial first beginning, and I recommend that you start it as your routine when you get up in the morning, if you're attending a workshop, if you're reading a book, that you always start. Each day is a new day by design. So if you do it at the beginning of the day, it's good for the day unless you neutralize it. But we always want to start calling in truth and protection and guidance during these very chaotic times, and we're talking energy chaos as well as world happening chaos. We can be distracted, we can be impacted by all kinds of different things. If we start our day by calling in truth, then literally anything that is not truth washes off our back like water off a duck's back, as they say. If we call in protection, then we're protected from anything we don't need to experience. And then if we call in guidance, it helps just sort of lay the path, like your car GPS. It just sort of helps guide you on the way. Of course, you still have to listen and heed. It doesn't take free will away, but it gives you a lot of hints that, ooh, maybe this doesn't feel right. Maybe this needs to go in this direction. So those big three, protection, guidance, and truth, are very, very important. As your energy gets stronger, as you become more empowered in your energy, then less and less can impact you, the less important it is for protection and guidance. But I can tell you right now, the forces that oppose the evolution of this planet are very strong. They're operating in panic mode, and they're doing lots of things to distract you. So I do recommend every morning get up, brush teeth, do your morning routine, and add that protection, guidance, and truth. And you can do it any way you want. You can do it as an affirmation. You can do it just as a visualization. You can do it energetically. You can just set the intention. Today, I'm going to have protection, guidance, and truth. And that's all you need if you believe it is. If you believe you've got to say it 30 times and wear garlic and, kiss your cross and all the other kinds of things, then you got to do that. So it really boils down to, what is your belief? My belief is that we're little godlets and we don't need to do any of that. We don't need to practice. All we need to do is take action in our truth and courage, and knowing that we are part of that divine force on this planet. So with that said, we're going to see our little affirmation. You can either agree to it, you can repeat after me. If you want a copy of this, you email me, but make sure you put in the subject matter important, because I get like 200 emails a day and things get lost. So it isn't so much the sequence of the words, it is the intent. The intent has the power. So with that, we come today in the spirit of unity and unconditional love. We ask for the divine forces of truth and wisdom to open us to the inspired knowledge and required for service to this earth and her inhabitants. Guide us in our world of action. Give us the will and the power to express this human life and the beauty that we find in communion with Spirit. Provide the divine protection, guidance, and ability to discern truth needed to achieve our divine potential. Let us release all that is not truth, neutralize all distractions, distortions, and dissolve all obstacles that may slow our path or impede our progress. Let every word spoken, thought held, or intention set be a reflection of my truth. Every day in every way, let my ability to discern truth, allow protection, and receive guidance grows. We willingly accept truth, protection, and guidance where and how we find it, peacefully, joyfully, and harmoniously, integrating them into our totality. Let our individual and collective path of truth take us ever closer to our divine greatest potential. We are the love, strength, courage, and perseverance required to walk our path of honor for now and evermore. So be it. I am grateful, so it is. We just simmer in that little juice that we put out, because every word is an affirmation. Every word is a truth if you allow it to be. Every word is a vibrational essence. And so thoughts are things, words are things magnified. And so you want to take and just let that super soup soak into you. Now, because we are light workers, and if you don't know what that is, if you're on this call, you are one, so it doesn't matter. Light workers are just here to serve the planet. You probably have this need to make things better, need to change things. You have this, what I call divine dissatisfaction. It's like now is never just good enough. You got to fix it. You got to make it better. You got to be better. You got to, it's just our inner drive to make a difference. And so light workers make a difference, not so much in what they do, although what they do is important. They do it in what they be. As they say, you're not human doings, you're human beings. And when you move into that energy of love, that energy of peace, that energy of joy, that's what you came to do, to amplify that and magnify that and send it to the planet like a cosmic Pepto-Bismol that just settles all the upsets and makes everything work in harmony. It won't end conflict. Conflict is not a bad thing. What it will do is end the way we have to kill each other to settle conflict, or it'll end the road rage where we have to kill each other to settle the conflict. It'll allow us to use humane, rational, compassionate ways to settle conflict. But conflict is really a very important part of growth, and we'll talk about that another day, or we'll get a question in the chat and then we'll answer. Stacie is maintaining the lines on Facebook and Instagram, so if you're asking questions, Stacie's monitoring those, and then we'll put them through this. I am old school. I can't monitor 14 things at a time, so Stacie handles all the technology, and I just stay in the here and now, and it works for me, and Stacie seems to enjoy it. So we'll let her to continue to play that role. So if you have questions, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, shoot them over to Stacie in the thread. And then if you're on Zoom, just jot them down. And I am getting better at being able to read the Zoom chats, which I'm very proud of. That's progress. And monitoring your own progress and recognizing it and patting yourself in the back is very important. So just, when you recognize your own growth, go, yes, I'm good. I'm good. All right. So with that, we're going to move into our light work, which is our visualization for the earth. And so as I give the instructions, just follow along. I've added a bit about accepting and honoring the greatness of who you are. So as we get to that, recognize, if we did add it last time too, so this isn't new, but if you get to that point and you go, oh, and you start having a mental disagreement with what I'm saying, then no, just jot that down in your journal so you can go back and look at, because as I'm saying these truths, if you have an internal need to beat yourself up, you're going to argue with it. Well, I'm not that good. Well, I'm not, I don't know about that. And so if you're having that discord internally, as I'm saying these lovely things about you and all of us, then make note, because we need to do some house cleaning. Those don't serve you. I'll say with that, your core being, your soul spirit, is just light and love. We put on a body. It's our vehicle for this planet. It is our gift of this planet. It's a very important part of who we are. We have a body. We are not our body. Our body serves us. Our body has its own consciousness. Our mind is that control mechanism that helps guide and empowers us in lots of ways. It's also very important to our journey. For many people, it's a mind out of control. We're learning how to take mastery over the mind. And your mind is that ability that manifests and creates. And so the mind is also exceedingly important, not as important as the body, but the mind is very important. And it also is not who you are. You have a mind. The mind has its own consciousness. You have a body. Your body has its own consciousness. You, the greatness of who you are, is part of the divinity that broke off from the oneness of all that is to come into this experience called Earth in order to live as a human and have this lovely experience. If you've always felt like you didn't belong, if you've always felt different than everybody else, you were, and you are. So not to worry about it. You just have to recognize that we're here to change things. We're not here to perpetuate things. So you couldn't fit in and be the way shower. So just celebrate that. But what we're going to do now is go into our soul self, that light and love of who we are. It's the vibrational. I see there's just sort of this little core of light. Many people see orbs, and those are just the soul essences without the body, without the mind. And we're just going to feel that as who we are. We are the light and love of the divine made manifest. And we're just going to see that and imagine that light and love expanding, because we have full power over it, expanding and growing. And we're going to take that energy to our center. The center is where you are most in alignment with your divine support team. And we're just going to take that energy of who we are and send the energy into the heavens, connecting with your angels, spirits, guides, all those who are here to support you on this journey, and just feel that nurturing love that comes so freely from them. And then we're going to take our energy and send it into the earth. Just see your energy going deep into the earth. We are here to anchor heaven to earth, the heavenly energies into the earth energies, and you are the ambassador who makes that happen. So just feel that unity, feel the energy flow between the two. You are the connecting link. You gave of yourself to come into this plane in order just to be this energy and send it into the earth. So just feel this energy flow. If you feel any restrictions or any kind of sensations in any part of your body that's pleasant, yay. If it's unpleasant, just breathe into it. Imagine breaking up that dam, because if the energy doesn't flow, you'll feel that little blockage. So just imagine taking a deep breath and letting your sacred breath go to that space and just free the energy. And then we're going to imagine expanding this energy and connecting it with all those all around the planet who are also here to serve this planet and its people. Just see this energy become united with the oneness. And then there are many, many beings in many, many forms in, on, and around this planet who serve this planet. And we're going to just imagine becoming one with all this divine energy. As we combine with this energy, we're going to send this energy out into the atmosphere, surrounding this earth with this love and light. Just see this light pour around the planet. The atmosphere is to the earth as our skin is to our body. It's exceedingly important for its well-being. Earth is a living consciousness. It is a ninth dimensional being. And we're here to sustain her, to help her by helping humanity. And then we expand this light and love, still like a dimmer switch. We turn on brighter and brighter, and we send it into the earth, filling every cell in, on, and around this planet with our light, with our love, with our divine intentions. Every living thing on this planet, every tree, every snail, every form of life, we send into this earth and let it spread. And then there are many on the planet right now that are doing their darndest to interfere with the progressive earth. And they are deliberately altering the atmosphere and the earth. So we're just going to love them too. So anyone and everyone that's mucking around with our planet in any kind of destructive way, we're just going to amplify this light and love and send to them. And then we're going to send love and light to all the weather patterns on the earth. There's a reason why we're going through extreme weather in different places. It's because the weather patterns are how the earth stabilizes herself. Wherever there's extreme weather, it means the earth is sick in that place. And our love is what makes it better. So just love the weather patterns. And then love the people who are, or the beings who are mucking with our weather. They know not what they do, so just love them. And then we send love and light to all places of pollution on the planet, where people have not honored and cherished the earth. We send love and light to all those places on the earth where there's war and hate and violence. And we send love to those who are intentionally trying to disrupt relationships, trying to build divides between people. They won't be successful because we're all one. We are one family. And eventually we're going to recognize that. Just because you don't get along with someone in your family doesn't mean they stop being part of that family. So just love them. Love anything and everyone who supports the progress of the earth, who doesn't. The collective consciousness on the planet is very influential for maintaining the planet and the thoughts of the people, for lack of a better word. And so the collective consciousness is the repository of all the thoughts and beliefs and attitudes of everyone who's ever been on this planet or whoever will be on this planet, because time is not. I see it like this beautiful lake, but it can be anything or nothing. It doesn't matter. And we're going to send our love into the collective consciousness. We're going to ask all those who support this planet in any way, in any form, to send love into the collective consciousness. This is the place that affects all of us in one way or the other. And right now, there are a lot of businesses and organizations that are doing what they can do to control and manipulate the planet. Some they feel with good intentions, and others not so good intentions. What we want to do is just love them all. We love the businesses, the organizations, the companies, as well as those who guide them. These people of influence, we're just going to put them all in wonderful bubbles of love and ask our heavenly helpers to create and maintain these bubbles. Let them feel our love. And in this bubble, let them feel the consequences of their actions. We're going to call on instant karma so they understand, so they recognize. And we're just going to love them. And then right now in this country, we have a political election going on, and we're going to send love to all the candidates, all the political leaders at every level, local, state, and federal. We're going to send lots and lots and lots of love to all of our political leaders. And let's send an extra dollop of love to our current president, as well as all people who will take this seat as president. It is a very hot seat. So we're just going to love him and all those who follow him. And now we're just going to allow the angels to continue to send this love to anyone and everyone who needs it, everyone who is influential in determining the next phase of Earth life. As we send love to all the little viruses on our planet. Coronavirus has been such a gift. It has taught us so much. It has shown us so much. And we're just going to love it. And just imagine seeing every little virus, every little bacteria, every little thing that we don't notice on a given day. We're just going to love them. They're part of our journey. They can have a huge impact on our lives, and we're just going to infuse them with our love. And anyone and everyone who is attempting to destroy our sacred space on the planet, to alter and manipulate our environment, we're just going to love them. Lots and lots of love. And then if you know people who need or want this love, please send that love and light to them. If you know people who are sick, who are hurting, who are scared, who are depressed, we're just going to send them lots and lots of love and light. This is why we're here, just to love the drama, love the journey, love the experience. This is the most powerful, most exciting time on this planet. And we want to make sure that we add lots and lots of love. And what I'd like you to do is just for a moment, just be still and let the universe send love through us in order to impact this planet and its people. You are a channel for divine energy. Just be open to be the channel. Feel what it feels like as every cell of your body is impacted by this magnificent, joyful energy. And this energy melts away any of the troubles and the blocks that you will allow. This energy blocks away, melts away any distractions and limitations. This divine energy releases you from old experiences, mechanical devices, implants. It frees you to be your own super self. And know this energy is the most powerful force on the planet. At one time, we didn't think much about lights. We lit a candle, we had light. And then we got the electric light, and we were able to control the light, have it be bright in the middle of the night. And then we learned to focus the light, and we have lasers. And lasers can cut down mountains. They can remove little imperfections in and out of your body. It's exceedingly powerful. As we learn to use and control our love, we'll find this is the most powerful force on the planet, much stronger than anything else known to humanity, stronger than anything in the universe. We're just learning to focus it and use it. We always use it unconditionally. We don't give an outcome. We just use it unconditionally. So take a deep breath. Anchor that energy in you and around you. And if you're in your home, you're welcome to send love and light all around your house, creating your own nest of love. Now, if we were in person, I could show you the impact. We could measure it. But since we're virtual, we have to just take my little word for it. You can put a special seal around the door so that anyone who enters your home must come in with love only. Anything else is scraped away and left outside for them to pick up later in life. You do not have to allow anything but love in your environment. See every grass blade around your home or yard or park. It's a place that you use and you reside. You have the power to anchor each one of those grass blades in love. Really sharing your appreciation for nature and the power that it has to stabilize and heal. And then, of course, we give the permission to the angels to continue to use our energy, our love, our light in any way that serves the planet. And with that, I'm going to affirm our little affirmations about self. And so, in this place of love, we're going to honor ourselves. We're going to love ourselves. And as I say this, just receive it. I am a good person. I deserve a wonderful life full of success and happiness and joy. I am entitled to have happy relationships, excellent health, meaningful work, and financial independence. These are my birthrights. This is what my life is meant to include. Anything and everything that would keep me from that, I release with love. I am engineered for success and designed to have high levels of self-esteem and self-respect and personal pride. I am extraordinary. There has never been anyone exactly like me in all of the history of humankind. I am amazing. I am filled with love and untapped talents and abilities that, when properly unleashed and applied, can bring me everything I could ever want in life. I am living in the greatest time in all of humanity, in all of history. I am surrounded by abundant opportunities that I can take advantage of to realize my dreams. The only real limit on what I can be or do or have are the limits I place on myself by my own thinking. My future is virtually unlimited. I am blessed. I am grateful. So be it. And when you're ready, just gently bring yourself back to the here and now, not unplugging from this connection with the earth and with the heavens, but just allowing it to transmute into the here and now. Keeping your divine connection, keeping this energy flowing, because anything you send out, you must receive. So as you come back to the here and now, the energy flows back to you and will continue to flow back to you. And when you're ready, if you have a comment or question, you can jot it down in the chat box if you're here on the Zoom. If you're on the other mediums, then Stacie can read them, but just take note how you feel, even if you're not doing it for us, in your journal. And I do recommend that you always have paper and pencil around, but jot down how you feel, because the more you bring it through your conscious mind, the more you can access it at will. And that's really important, being able to access it. Whenever you feel something that's taking you down, you need to be able to instantly go to that place where you will feel exalted. You know, we have as light workers, you're much more sensitive to the energies. And right now we're being bombarded with all kinds of different energies coming from different places. And so you can be hit with a icky energy, and you need to instantly recognize it and transmute it to a higher energy consciously. So, anybody have anything they want to share or ask? You can do it in the chat if you don't want to be seen, or you can figure wave, or you can electronically raise your hand. It's always cute. Okay, Candace has something. Go take it, Candace. Unmute yourself.
Hi.
Hi.
I noticed in my body that before I was feeling some discomfort And then as soon as we opened up to be a channel and just receive that love to give out to the world, it just, my body just feels amazing. It feels so good. There's no like tension anywhere anymore. I feel warmth, just a calmness that was needed.
The peace that passes understanding. And that's what you feel, that when you're in that space, you do feel just normal, but it's a great normal. It's not an icky normal. So allowing that is very important.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go there whenever you want. That's the nice thing. It's always open for business, and there's no social isolation, and you don't have to wear a mask. You just show up.
I love it.
I know, me too.
Thank
Anybody
you.
else want to share anything? You're welcome. My joy. Because I get it too. I mean, when I'm doing it and I'm being guided to what's added, because those you regulars know that each time it changes. And so I'm getting all the collective energy of the experience as well. So it's a blessing for me as well. Anybody else want to share anything?
Well, I do have a question from Instagram.
Okay. Does Instagram have a name?
Yes.
Okay.
Leopard Lover, but her real name is Esmeralda.
Esmeralda on Instagram. Okay.
Or you can also call her Esme. Okay, so she asked, is there particular supplements or food to help be more receptive to divine? I know everything we ingest affects us. Do you need to be vegan or vegetarian to be more receptive?
There's a lot of different positions for this, and this is my truth. You have to decide whether it's your truth or not. The way we treat our meat, the way we treat our poultry, the way we treat our creatures that we consume is horrible. If you live in awful conditions, you take that energy into yourself. Then when you consume that chicken, or you consume that egg, or you consume that meat, you're taking in all that vibration. And so if if you're eating a cow that's been badly abused and pin bred and dragged by a crane across the pen to be slaughtered, or the cow that's just watched its calf be slaughtered, I mean, you're eating that energy. And so I've been a vegetarian for over 30 years. I don't know exactly when I became a vegetarian, because it was my telling my body, eat what you want, and talk loud so I know what you're saying, and guide me into eating. And then one day I could not remember when the last time I had meat was. But I know it's been over 30 years, because when I went to Egypt the first time, I wasn't eating meat. I know there are people who profess to be highly evolved spiritual beings. I'm not here to argue whether they are or not, but they do eat meat, and they do smoke cigarettes, and they do drink, and are very, very open about it. I can't do that. I do have a beer. I've probably had 4 beers this year. And there are times where I feel the need to have a beer, and I have my emergency beer, but I can feel it like really condense the energy, even as I consume a single beer. So I know that everything you take in, I bless my water. I have all kinds of things that I do for my own sake. I do not believe that God put us on this planet to have to need a supplement, to have to eat a special vitamin or do something in order to restore our body. But we've all screwed our bodies up in different ways. And so I would say, if you're really just wanting to balance your body, sit down and have a heart to heart. In fact, tonight, if you remind me, Stacie, I'll do a little visualization for meeting your body and dealing with it. Have a heart to heart with your body and let your body decide. I do take a vitamin D. I think sunshine is very important. I don't use any sunscreen. I don't use any products that try to diminish that energy. And I do my best to get outside 20 minutes every day. But I live in the Midwest. I mean, our skies are I live in the 6th most polluted county in the country. Is that by accident? I wonder. And so I know even when I'm outside in the sun, I'm not getting the sun. I'm getting this filtered version of the suns. And so I've been guided to take my little vitamin D pill. That's the only supplement I take. Periodically, I feel the need to do this, or I need to feel the need to do this. I don't do anything else on a regular basis. I just follow my heart. And so if I feel the need to get something or take something, I do. I take a little magnesium, which is uh, Epsom salts. I grew up with my mother saying about how important Crucian salt was, and her grandfather took Crucian salt and lived to be 193 or something, and with perfect vision and perfect hearing. And so, and Crucian salt in Scotland is our Epsom salt in this country, and it's very powerful for your body. So occasionally I'll take a few sprinkles of that. But I don't have any routines, any rituals that I do or profess to do or think that you need to do. I think it's a very personal, one-on-one. If someone is telling you, you've got to do this in order to get there, and you believe it, you got to do it because it's your beliefs. But nobody knows your body. No one else knows what you put your body through. And this body you have today is just a recycled version of every body that you've ever had in every lifetime. So that if you've screwed it up, that screw up keeps coming with you. And so I would say just make amends, be nice to your body, and let your body talk to you and do what you feel like doing. It's the body talks to an impulse. When I was first in my heavy spiritual evolution, and I write about this in Perfect Power and Consciousness.
Cue the book. Okay, wait. Right here. It is Perfect Power and Consciousness, Seeking Truth Through the Subconscious and the Superconscious Mind by Dr. Heather Harder. Available at heatherharder.com.
And it really is about the journey of harmony. It really is about the journey of harmonizing body, mind, and spirit. You can't be at war within. You cannot get there from here if you're having a battle with your body or battle with your mind. So it really is about that. But when I was going through that process of harmonizing my body, I literally would, I think I ate popcorn for 2 weeks. Nobody recommends that diet. I ate avocado and bean sprouts for another 3 weeks. And then when I stocked up on avocados and bean sprouts, like, no more, I'm done. It's like, well, you could have told me that before I bought a new supply, but nonetheless. So my diet has been anything but normal, but I follow my heart. I trust my body. And for the most part, it has never failed me. And I'm very happy with my lovely aging body. And I think that's what you got to do, is just become friends with your body and do what your body dictates. It will talk to you. It will tell you what it needs. If you ignore it, if you beat it up, it's not going to be your friend. But yes. The goal is.
And I have learned from experience. I've never always been 100% nice with my body, and it's been a new journey, and it is everything.
And she learned from experience, and her mother, who kept saying, you're at war with your body. 18 layers of products and boxes. I get her leftovers. So when she gets tired of a product, I get this box of stuff. And I said, with all these things that you're putting and slapping and wearing and spading and stuff, you're at war with your body. You're not letting your body just be. And so recommend, it's a choice. You get to decide how you do it and whatever. So I hope that answers Elder the question.
Esme. Yes. She said, thank you for always asking for me too. So she said, thank you. And another thing that I wanted to mention too, when you were talking about when we did the love meditation, you talked about the coronavirus, and she actually, if I remember correctly, she had it, and she said that she loved that I love that coronavirus changed my perspective on important things in life, and to choose love and light instead of the other. And that all in all, a lesson is nothing else in choices we make every day, every single moment, and life to be positive.
That's beautiful. Yes, every situation we have, no matter how dark and awful and miserable it is, there is always an equal and opposite opportunity for growth, an opportunity for lessons. So, when you're in the darkest place, take the time to examine the light side of it. There's always a light side of it. I sort of think of it as the moon, you know, the light of the moon and the dark side of the moon. And when I'm in that dark side of the moon, it's like, okay, but what's on the other side of this? What's around the corner? What's around the bend? And you just keep looking at it, and all of a sudden you start seeing it. You know, as much as I have not enjoyed all aspects of our social isolations and the mask, just sort of, they have made people much more aware and much more connected in some ways. And so we just trust that no matter what's going on, there's always a reason that can be used for good. And I think that's important. Yes, good question. Yes, Sylvia. Anything else, Stacie, on our little external friends?
But if you're kicking your desk, you're moving your camera around, so you're like moving.
I'm moving. I feel the earth move under my feet. I feel the skies tumbling down. Okay, go ahead. Is there anything else?
I think you said Sylvia had a question.
No, I said Sylvia said good question. So I'm reading those comments. Good question. See, she said good question. Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing good. You're doing good, Heather.
Well, luckily there's not many comments, so it's easy to catch up. Okay, go ahead.
Question. Oh, just a comment on that. Just listening to your body. So important. I remember years ago, I was, ate anything I wanted, no restrictions, meat, dairy, everything. But I heard this little voice and I felt it like creeping in. Oh yeah, that's why your stomach, because the meat, you shouldn't be eating meat. I'm like, no, I love meat. Like, ignore. But it just kept creeping up and creeping. I was like, okay. Eventually, anyway, I'm vegan now for 5 years. So I listened to my body, but it really made a tremendous difference. That voice, I didn't want it. I didn't make that voice, but it wants the best for me, and I wanted the best for myself. And I trusted and I gave in, and I have never been happier.
And how long ago was that?
And that's
like 5 years now, I think.
Yeah. And so I can remember as a child not wanting to eat meat, but in Indiana, you didn't have 4-year-old vegetarian children. It's a meat and potato kind of place. So I have been a vegetarian for over 30 years too. When Mom went vegetarian, I realized I don't have to eat meat. Like, I don't want to eat meat. So it was an easy choice for me.
Oh yeah, it's tough when you're young. My little sister, she's been vegetarian since she was like 6 but very young, really young, under 10. And there was no option then. My mom gave her probably hot dogs and was like, oh, it's vegetarian. But she decided that
Liar!
What do you do?
Yeah, they said parts is parts. I didn't know. I'm like, it's not even real meat.
Oh, bad. Bad, Mama. Bad. Okay.
Sorry, Mom. Anywho. Yeah, we do what you gotta do.
We forgive you.
That was all.
And again, that's it. There's been a lot of people who've made meat. I haven't. I can feel instantly when I get close. And even if there's some people who she won't be able to tell the difference. And so they give me food that's got ground up chicken in it and stuff. And when it goes in my mouth, it's like, oh my God. And I get violently ill for like 24 hours. I get this huge flu-like things. And it's like, this has meat in it. Oh, no. It has meat in it. And I'm spitting it out and trying to clear myself of it. And I say, oh no, just chicken. Like, chicken's meat. Don't do this to me. Or if I get a soup with a meat base in it, I instantly get sick. I mean, instantly, like within a very short time, I start throwing up. And so my body is very sensitive to it. But I've seen, lots of other people devour it. And so I can't say that you can't. I have just not experienced that. Okay.
And I think it's also true as we get to know our body, start to listen to your body's voice and ask questions. And I think that's a huge important thing. And if you missed it, we have masterclass with Mom for, what is it? Something with your body.
Just balancing your body. I forget what we called it. We just make these names up. I mean, but we have one for the mind in order to master the mind. And then we have one for the body in order to really master the body.
Body mastery class.
What?
I think it's called body mastery class.
I don't think it makes a difference.
Okay.
But there's been some people that have been on the classes. We'll take a testimonial now if anybody wants to add their 2 cents. But yes, and we need to schedule those again because those are great basic classes. You cannot get there from here if you're not in harmony with your body. You're not in harmony with your mind. And they're a good solid 2 hours of experiences and instruction in order to walk away and really honor that part of who we are. Candace, you're shaking your head. I know would you like to comment?
Manifestation masterclass, and then also Candace also just said she wanted to do a class on boundaries, and so we've done that before, so we can definitely do that again. That was before you joined us.
I had somebody call and ask for a class, that was scheduled class, and I said sure, and it was a great class, and I can't remember what they asked for. So that's why it's better to email me because I forget. I live in the now, so things go away real quick. Go ahead. Say it again, Stacie or Candace. You were talking, I think.
I was just in agreement with all of it, just talking to myself here. Like
since you're here, what did you walk away with from the class?
I've taken all through the 3, the mind, body, and manifestation. So, and I know things shift and change with the next mind class or the next body class. So I definitely, it's not one and done. I want to continue and just absorb and learn more. I mean, the mind one really, it was the first one I did, and it really stands out. It really does, because the exercises that you've helped walked us through, and just to realize we have a mind, we are not our mind. It really, day to day, moment to moment, just scrolling on Instagram or what have you, realizing, okay, hey, I'm observing this thought. This is, and just know that I control, like it's me. And I could just be an observer and not allow the mind to just go and have anxiety and just scream and yell and just go crazy. And I mean, we're human, so, but just to have the abilities and the tools, I just loved it. And the body one was just so good too. And always brings me to tears. It's just getting in your body and allowing that time to say, hey, hi, I love you, I'm listening. Amazing.
It's like your body comes alive, and that love sense, like, I feel good. And you don't have to be at war with your body. I mean, when I started really honoring my body, it was like all of a sudden every cell of my body was like, yes, I'm good. And you could just feel the body's alertness to the experience. So yeah, it's fun. So Stacie, reschedule those so we can start offering those. Well, all right, just a show of hands, we could just, which we can, for the people who are here, people out there in space can comment too if they want. But we can do Wednesdays, or we can do Saturdays. So of those 2 days, which is better? Wednesdays? Do your hands. Okay. Or Saturday. Okay. Did you get numbers, Stacie?
Yeah, it was 3-2 on the votes. Not everybody voted, but.
All right, let's do it again. Everybody vote. Which is better? Wednesdays
at 4
Hands up.
6 Central, 7 Eastern.
Same time. Okay, don't confuse us. Just say with a vote. Count the hands.
Okay.
Got those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got 5 on Wednesdays. All right, now Saturdays. If Saturdays work for you as well. 1.
Wow.
Oh, we only have 1. Okay, Wednesdays. So we'll just schedule the classes on Wednesday.
What about Fridays? Just to throw it out there. Fridays at the same time we meet right now. Anybody vote for Fridays?
We had one.
Okay.
So nope. Wednesdays it
I
is.
like
Ah,
Sundays. What about Sunday nights like we used to
Sundays.
do?
All right. We have Sundays. How many people
At
like
night.
Sundays?
Sunday evening?
Sundays.
Yeah.
All right. We're looking at the hand, Stacie. So hand up so I can count. Sundays. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 for Sunday. So Sundays or Wednesdays seem to be better.
And just
And we can.
we're going to be doing the writing masterclass of creating your own book from start to finish, because a lot of people are being called to write their book, right? But it's a little overwhelming of a process. So mom is very good at start to finish, and it's also a spiritual world that our message and everything is a vibration and energy. And so when we put that high frequency vibe, whatever your book is, whether it's helping people, whether it's your experience, whatever that is, you put it in form, it allows that energy to co-create and keep giving. And so a lot of people are being called to write a book, and that's going to be an 8-week program, and that's going to be on Saturday afternoons, and then we'll have
And Sunday.
and
And follow up
Q&A.
on Sunday.
Yes, on Sundays it's optional, so it will meet twice a week if you choose. There's always the recordings if you can't go to the live. But if the early bird pricing is $397 for the 8-week, and it literally starts to finish, and it goes through publishing and how to publish and marketing, how to write it, how to edit, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot to that class. And if you're thinking about it, please PM me and let me know so we kind of get an idea. But it's that burning something in your stomach of like, I want to write a book, but I don't even know what or how. Join us. And we're going to also do a class, probably a pre-class to the class on your topic and your theme and how to find that and how to figure out what your story is. And it's going to be magical, because I mean, there's a lot of programs out there, but some of them are like $10,000. And so mom's had many, many, many books. She probably has at least 20 books written. And I think 6 or 7 books that are actually published, complete, start to finish. She has so many books that she just needs to complete. Like, she's done. They're just, anyways, I just want to put that out there. So starting October 10th. Are you ready?
Yes, which is coming up very quickly. So are we done, Stacie, with you?
Yes, I have another vote on Saturday, so just saying.
Okay. Well, because we'll already be having a class on Saturday and Sunday, Wednesdays probably would be better for right now. So just schedule a class each Wednesday, and then we have a request for boundaries class too. I have taught the boundaries class, but so it's also one that's very important.
It is very important, and especially those people who come from abusive / any kind of sexual assault situations. Boundaries are real important for us to figure out, because it is so important to own your energy fields and to know how to stay in your power within that. And
well, it's not just people infringing on your boundaries, it's also you infringing on other people's boundaries. If you don't recognize boundaries, you can become a controlling person and impact other people's lives without realizing you're doing it. So healthy boundaries are like a good fence. They just let you know what's your business and what's not your business, and how to stay in the healthy side of that. And so boundaries are very important. And so put that down, Stace. That down? Have you been a good putter downer?
well, you taught me very well, did you not?
Yeah, but you don't always do it. So I think I'm a fabulous teacher, but okay. Any other questions, any other issues that come up? Oh my goodness, we're an hour into this already. Hard to believe. All right, so any other questions, any other issues? Okay, Candace, you look like you're trying to hold something back. No?
I don't know about
Okay.
anything. Questions about anything?
Yeah. this is our open questions. Stacie's given me a topic she wants me to talk on. But before we do that, if you all have, this is about you guys. If you all have an issue or question, we want to get it off your mind so you can be totally attentive. So whatever question you have, Candace, is on the table.
Okay. I think
Do you have a question?
No, I think I'm okay. I think I'm good.
Okay, so I'm feeling that I'm ready then to ask my question because no one else is
First
speaking.
of all, is there any other questions on Instagram or Facebook?
Not
We
yet.
give our little etheric friends. Not
yet.
Okay.
So I just found there's a theme that is playing out in my life. And as you know, we are usually not alone in this process. And part of that has been suicidal thoughts and a lot of people coming with depression. And so I had an experience of like a super suicidal thought that I was like, whoa. And I literally had to like walk back and like, no, like not gonna do that. And I was at a very incredible friend's birthday party, and there was incredible, at least 20 really amazing souls. And part of that process too, in the channeling thing, was everyone there has thought about suicide and killing themselves this week alone. And so I was honest in my share of just like, I was late because I was crying and processing stuff. And as I've made it commitments to let go of my controlling issues, and I want to, then I have to go through and really experience what that feels like and how to really surrender to it and how to really be in that divine trust. So I do feel that there's so much shifting and so much happening that I really wanted Mom to put her 2 cents in as well. And a lot of that for me, it feels like we are actually, I'm going to pause this because Instagram Live is going to shut off. And I really want this as important. So I want to be able to restart the live for this topic. So give me 2 seconds. If you're on IG, hang on. I'll be right back so I can save this and then we'll talk about this topic.
Now that's so good that you bring that up, Stacie.
Good. It was really, it felt super important. And
so as she's playing with her, getting it started again, you all can think about the questions you have or the experiences you've had that came up this week or in the last recent thing. And then when Stacie tells us we can talk, we can talk.
Good, because I now remember.
We are and I'm going to get the Egypt information out too. So I had a dream about that the other day. So you'll be getting the information in the next day or so.
Yay.
What was the dream about? Hi, ladies, by the way. I love you. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you. Thank you, Heather.
What the world needs now is love,
love
sweet love.
Sweet love.
it's the only
It's
thing.
the only.
It's just
What was the dream about?
love.
Do your work. Are you done?
Well, we are back live. Thank you for joining us. This is part 2 of Cosmic Conversations. And I just asked the question about the collective. And I've been feeling there's a lot of heaviness and sadness. And there's some people with depressive thoughts, suicidal thoughts. And
all right, that's enough. That's enough. You asked your question the first time. So that's enough. We'll get started. Okay. Because the more you talk about it, the more depressed the energy becomes. So when you're talking about those things that are not things that you want to empower in your life, keep it short, keep it terse, to the point, because the more you talk, the more you expand that concept. And so I think if they listen to part 1, they'll hear your whole question, and I think they'll get all of it at that point in time. Again, this is not a simple one-size-fits-all issue and one-size-fits-all answer. And so I'm going to sort of go to it from different levels and different places. You'll have heard me this tonight do a lot of little song fragments. Just singing is one of the ways to lift the energy. And so when I'm on with people, and it's not just you, it's all the other etheric friends that are on Facebook and and Instagram, energetically, I take all of you in. So when I'm feeling the energy become heavy, I do something to lift and shift the energy because I don't want that heavy energy. Stacie said she was at a gathering and she'd been thinking about that gathering where there were a lot of people who'd been having suicidal thoughts. Guess what? She's now having suicidal thoughts. She's being attracted to a group that is got depressed energy. You know, depressed means that your energy is depressed. And when you are depressed individually, it's anger turned inward. Look at what you're not approving yourself or your life when you're all by yourself. But if you're with a group or other people around to influence you, it can be theirs. It doesn't even have to be yours because we're all influencing each other. So if you are feeling down because of the group that you're hanging with, well, birds of a feather flock together. You want to change your group, change the orientation. If someone is down, you can honor them, but instantly bubble so you're not taking their stuff in. You know, going back to that etheric boundary, because other people can affect you. I have in the last actually 9 days now, my adult foster child has moved back in with me, and we're doing, you know, sort of remediation work. And his energy in my house is greatly affecting me. I'm having to work that much more to keep myself at status quo because his presence is now impacting. So first of all, when you're feeling these feelings, you want to stop and say, is this internal? Is this my thoughts that are creating it? Or is it coming from an external source? And in our little light work, we've sent lots of love to those who are intentionally trying to muck with the planet and muck with the people. You can be sure you are being bombarded with energies that are designed to make you less empowered. When you put up your protection every day, that helps block it. It doesn't block all of it because you need to sort of know what everybody else is experiencing it. So you have internal sources and you have external sources. Internal, it's what you're eating, what you're drinking, what you're thinking, what you're doing, what you're releasing. Sometimes, in order to be your best, you got to let go of the anchors, the things that hold you back. And that's old thoughts, old beliefs, but you can't let them go until you know what they are. So as I said, when I did a little affirmation of greatness in our meditation, if you hear yourself arguing with those points, you need to go back and ask, you know, why am I arguing with this? What is it about my belief system that doesn't believe that I'm capable of being a divine ambassador on this planet? What is it that keeps me from believing that I am all that I can be? And so you want to examine the internal thoughts, actions, words, food, diet. If your body is in terrible shape, you're going to feel miserable. When you're feeling miserable, you're much more open to the Aki energy. So look at your internal things that are happening to see, is there some way you can plug that dike that's letting that icky energy in? And then you have your external sources, the people you hang with, the conversation, the TV show you're watching, the news that you're watching. I haven't had TV, again, just as I'm a vegetarian, I'm a non-Tivarian. I'll make that word up. I'm a non-Tivarian. And I just don't watch TV. It doesn't serve me. And so I just don't do it. And I don't have an exact date, but I know it's been at least 5 years since I've had TV or watched TV. Now, if I'm someplace, at my sister's house the other day, when she has the TV on, I don't go, oh, no, not TV. I mean, I can certainly be exposed to it for a few minutes and not be hurt, but I'm not drawn to that energy. I can feel when that energy depresses me. So if you're watching a lot of TV, watching the news, that's enough to program you, because every one of those commercials are saying, well, you're not good enough unless you take this pill. Well, you're not right unless you eat this food. You're not good enough unless you wear this bra. And so it's programming you to be down on yourself, because that's how they make a sale. If you look at the various factors that cause people to act in a sales mindset, because they're always wanting you to buy their product or use their service or whatever, they're all based on making you feel incomplete or wrong or not in the in crowd if you don't do what they're doing. Every 4 or 5 minutes, they're programming you with a commercial that says you're not good enough. So what are you doing? Okay, I'm believing. And even worse is if you're doing something in the room but not watching it. If you're watching it consciously, then you have these filters that you can say, oh, that's bullshit, I'm not gonna, and you can filter it out. But if you're like doing a puzzle or doing something and not really watching it, but having it just on its background, you're taking it in without filters. It's actually worse for you just to have it in. And so look at the source of the stuff that's coming at you. Then once you sort of identify the source or not, you want to take and instantly go to, this doesn't feel good. I don't like this energy. And do what you can do to shift the energy. And you have full power of shifting the energy. This is not going to be a test. You can write it down in the chat box or send it to Stacie. But what are some things that you can do to shift your energy? When you feel yourself in that icky energy, because depressed energy is a very low energy. Josie, what can you do? Just name one thing.
Gratitudes. Say gratitude.
Start counting your blessings. Be in gratitude. It'll immediately shift your energy. And there's always something to be grateful for. And I got chills on that one. Someone else. What's another thing you can do to shift your energy? You can write in the chat box or just speak out or
dance.
Yeah.
You can dance. Anything creative comes from the soul. So whenever you're creating, you're pulling that soul energy into your life. Soul energy is always the highest vibration that you could handle in your body at that time. So singing, dancing, you don't even need to say the right words. You don't have to remember all the steps. Just get up and move. Get the energy. Depression is, or any of those suicidal thoughts are energy that's being compressed. So what you want to do is express. So you can draw, you can paint, you can sketch, you can write a poem, you can, whatever, but you want to take and express the energy, which expands it and shifts that energy. I like, as you've noticed, the singing, even though I don't sing well. I taught Head Start, and these deprived 4-year-olds said, don't sing with us, you mess us up. So it's like, okay, but the Bible says make a joyful noise. So I go for the joyful noise. I don't have to sing on cue. I did take singing lessons for a couple of years, and I totally frustrated my singing teacher, but it's okay. I make happy sounds, and that's all it takes. And so I should say luckily, the universe did not give me any music abilities, no carrying a tune, no remembering the words, nothing. Because if I'd had any ability, I would have gotten lost in music and not done what I came to do. But music for me is very important. And for many people who suffer from depression, music can be very important. What my spiritual friends do is call them as joy beans. That every time you're doing those things, you're sort of giving yourself a joy bean, so that when you need it, you can take the joy bean out. So look at that. Tell jokes. Just whatever you can do to make yourself laugh and express the energy, blow it up, send it out.
There's a lot of,
very important.
Yes, and this there's a lot of, if you read the comments, there's a lot like breathe, walk, take some sunlight. I like to write.
All right, read them slowly and let people contemplate, because some people are taking notes. So breathe, very important. Wherever that place is, you breathe that energy out and literally express that energy and imagine breathing in love that dissolves. You can make it sort of cosmic comet and then let it go into that place where that energy is congested or causing faulty thinking, and then see it dissipate and neutralize that stain. All right, the next one.
Okay, so the next comment is, notice you in the now. What is real? Notice what you do have and name the beauty around you.
Okay, that sort of goes into the gratitude. Yes, be fully present and in nature. Nature is a vibratory, empowering force. So going sitting on that magic grass that we have filled with love, just see, even if you can't get into nature, look at a picture of a nature, touch nature, look at the sky. I love skies and I love beaches and stuff. So I've always got lots of those pictures that I take in different places. So whatever it is that causes you to remember that energy of that place, if you can't get out and be in nature at that moment in time, give yourself a little mental vacation. That when you envision something, when you have a visualization of something, your brain processes it just like if it was a real experience. It cannot tell the difference between a real experience and one vividly imagined. So you can vividly imagine that experience and have the same impact on your body as if you were having a real vacation. You may be at work and you can't run out and sit in the grass, but although I got to tell you a story, for 20 plus years, I owned childcare centers. And so at one center, we had a separate cafeteria, and I'm down in the cafeteria hearing this noise. And I'm looking, why are these kids all going crazy? And so I said, what's going on? This is not typical. And they said, well, she's not serving the food, the cook. And I said, well, why not? I said, I don't know. She left. She left. I go out, and we had a 3-acre piece of land that had pretty trees and hills and stuff. She's out under a tree having a cigarette, and the kids are all in the cafeteria going nuts. And I says, well, get in there and come serve the food. She goes, no, I got stressed. I said, get unstressed on your own time. Get in there and serve the food. And so if you're at work, finish the duty, do what you need to do, but you can do a quick flash and give yourself an unstressed moment. Don't go leaving the kids in the cafeteria without their food. But yes, very important, very empowered. Be an observer, witness yourself. I'm reading now Candace's comments. An act of kindness, that's really important. What can you do for someone else to make them feel better? Because whenever you do something for someone else, you get that back. Remember, when I send love, I get that back. Not just equal amounts. I get more back than what I send out. So when you're feeling icky, think about all the kids who are in school feeling icky, or all the people in different places feeling icky, and let that come back to you. But yeah, doing something nice for someone else can be very, very powerful. Love these comments. Stacie,
I like to write.
Yes, writing is very creative. So you can write songs, you can write poetry, you can write just a flow of consciousness, how you're feeling, why you're feeling, where you think it came from. Imagine little goblets, because again, visualize, verbalize, vitalize. You can imagine little Pac-Mans, for those who are old enough to remember Pac-Man, and just imagine gobbling up this icky energy so that you're left with just sunshine. That's a visualization, visualizing it. You can verbalize it and just say, I'm releasing this energy, sending you back from where you came, and I let you experience what you've sent out while I experience the joy of who I am. And so you can verbalize, and it's not about having the right words, it's about having the right intention. And then the vitalize, that's the get up and move, get up and action, get up and do something, because that gets the energy flowing. And think in terms of that's your goal. When you're in an icky place, get moving. When you are suicidal, and as I said in different calls, that light workers oftentimes get suicidal. I want to go home. This is too hard. I didn't sign up for this. I want it easy. And so literally you have to get anchored into your mission, because if you're not anchored into why you're here and your purpose for being here, then it's easy to think of your own self and say, I want out, not I want to save the planet. I want out. I want it easy. And it's okay to ask for easy. I'm a person who doesn't like to merge. For many years,
driving, being on a highway. So just people, when you say merge, that's driving, pulling on a freeway, having to merge lanes. That's what she's referring to.
Okay. No, it was driving on back roads and having to merge onto the expressway. I wouldn't do it. In fact, in one time, I literally stopped in the middle of the on-ramp and said, someone take the wheel. I'm not driving any further. And it wasn't until I was offered a job at University of Chicago that I said, okay, I've got to learn to merge. And so literally when I would merge, I was not a safe driver. I'd close my eyes and say, okay, angels, take it over. And I would just pull on. I had no concept how to do it. I know. And then finally I got comfortable merging, and I do it with my eyes open now, which is much safer. So now when I'm getting ready to merge, I just say, okay, angels, make it easy, and they create the space and I pull off. But I ask for making it easy. You can ask for things, and I have never been disappointed. Ask for parking space, ask to make it easy, and your situation peacefully, joyfully, harmoniously, just let them make it easy. We don't have to have it hard. But amazingly, we like it hard. We came to test our soul, to challenge ourselves. So we created all these speed bumps to see how we'd react to them. So nothing in your life is by accident. Everything is designed for a purpose, whether it's to teach you something, to experience something, to have you grow. It's always for your highest and best good. If you don't like it, change the contract. I want it easy. Let me see the easy way of doing this. And I'm looking at Christina's little tiny body. And I want to also say that all that changes of my diet and what I was doing and eating something, I went 2 weeks without eating anything. I fasted for 2 weeks. I didn't lose a pound or an ounce or an inch, so your body is not the product of what you eat, unless you believe it is. Your body is another aspect. And so if you, and that's a whole nother conversation, but just recognize your body serves you, every aspect of your life serves you, even your depression serves you. If you're here to help humanity grow, you may have to experience some of the shit that they're going through and know what that feels like to go through it, so you can have compassion on their journey. And then you won't be going, well, just get out of it. Just you remember how that feels. My oldest daughter has played a lot with depression in her life. And so at one point in my journey, I got this horrendous depression. And then I would work my way out of it, and it would maybe take me the day to work through this really intense, heavy depression. And then I would get it again. And then I would just take me maybe an hour or so. And then later on, I would get it again, and maybe it would take me 5 minutes to get through it. And it got so that I would get it just so I could get out of it very quickly. And I was told, and I get everything after the fact, but I was told that I needed to understand how she felt, that I needed to experience the depression she was experiencing just so that I could understand what she was going through. And I'm just really grateful it wasn't my journey, because it was really intense and unpleasant. You will experience things that your students, the people that you're here to work with, the people you're here to influence, are experiencing. And your job is to learn how to get through it so you can teach them how to get through it. If you don't know those lessons, you can't teach them, you can't help them. So, again, there's not a one simple answer to what you're going through, why you're going through it. It can be lots of reasons. It can be letting go of the old. It can be external circumstances. It can be recognizing some faulty thinking that you're still engaged in. It can be recognizing the lessons you need to learn in order to help other people move through their lessons. It's not, we live in a very complex physical world. Stacie, did I answer that question? Is there more things that they're giving us on how to get through that energy?
Well, someone was saying that I eat depending on anxiety or nervousness and need to work on controlling emotions. And so I'll let you answer
All right.
that.
First of all, read it slower. When you're talking, I get like bubbly, so I'm not hearing every sound. So just be more slower so I can get it all. I'm old. What can I say? Do it.
I eat depending on anxiety.
Okay, now be a smart ass. Okay.
Well, that's hard. That's kind of my nature.
I know. That's pointing it out. Don't be a smart ass. Just be sensitive to my age process.
Oh, LOL. Yes, mother. It's my pleasure to take time for you.
Read it.
I eat depending on anxiety or nervousness. Need to work on controlling emotions. I would start with saying,
Yes.
Don't try to control anything. Just play. If you've been on this, you learn how to play and move through things. It's a lot easier. Controlling emotions. Okay, Mom, you want to?
I would say manage your emotions would be a better term to use. Your emotions there are very important for signaling a lesson, and you do want to be able to manage them, not control them, because you don't want to distort the process that notifies you that things are going on. The eating can be helpful. It cannot be helpful depending on what you're eating. If you sit down and have a banana split when you're upset, probably not the best thing. But if you're having issues and you want to crunch on carrot sticks because it gives you some resistance, that can be better for you. But you want to do it mindfully. Be very clear about, I'm eating this food in order to not stuff my emotions. That's a terrible thing to do. But in order to energize my wisdom. Just like I said, you have pumps in your jaw when you're chewing that literally clears your etheric field. Just imagine when you're in that emotion that you're chewing a celery stick or a carrot stick or something that gives you some resistance. Potato chips don't count. Then just set the intention that those foods are helping you get clearer on what it is these emotions are teaching you. But again, it's not the fact that you're eating, it's what are you eating? Does it manifest a new problem for you, or is it helping you dissolve an old problem? So did she say what she's eating this when she's no? Okay. But there's, the term comfort food, there's truly meaning in that sometimes food can be comforting, but do it mindfully, not
She
habitually.
said chips.
No chips. Chips are my cocaine of choice. I love chips and dips. So I have to be very careful. I only give myself the ability to eat chips and dips once every month or two, because I don't buy little bags of chips and eat a nice little serving. I go to Costco and buy the uber big chips, and I actually get hangovers and stuff from the chips and dip. They're not good for you, but occasionally I do succumb to the addiction.
There's something that's so enjoyable about the crunch. Like,
well, they're also built-in addictions. I mean, that salt hits your tongue, hits your brain. It's an addiction. It activates the same place as cocaine. Those food additives, those food products they use are very intentional to control you. And so you don't ever want something outside yourself to control you.
Yes, and I think it's important to listen. Sometimes you do want that, and sometimes you're doing it mentally, sometimes you're craving it physically, your body. So I think right now with Ascension and all the stuff that's going on in our body, everybody processes energy different. There's times where, like, I crave a bite of hot fudge sundae with pecans.
A bite?
Yeah. I just get a couple bites. I just put my spoon, I get the hot fudge and put it with the ice cream, and I just drop some pecans on it, and I just have a bite. I get a small little tub of vanilla. And it was funny because I was at Trader Joe's getting pecans, and I was so excited to remember I wanted pecans. And this guy was like, "Whoa, what are you making, a pecan pie?" And I was like, "Nope, it's going to be for my hot fudge sundae with pecans." And he was like, "Oh my God, I've never seen someone so excited about buying pecans before." I was like, "Oh yeah." He's like, it was funny. He's like, "Makes me want to get some and do the same." I was like,
Do it intentionally with full mindfulness of what you're doing and be responsible for it.
Yeah.
And so, and again, ask your body, you know, if this isn't good for me, let me not want this. You know, take away my desire for this thing. So I mean, again, you do it in harmony with your body, not working against your body, because it's usually your mind that likes the junk stuff, not your body.
Okay.
Okay, I'm reading. Oh my goodness, that makes me so happy. Yes, Christina, absolutely. I love reading that.
But real quick, Christina's commenting on the comment that Candace said. I also like to ask the angels to be with me and remove anything that is not for me or remove what is not for my highest and best good.
That goes back to the protection and guidance. So when you ask for that, you're getting that as well. And absolutely. How do you know that was for Christina and not for me?
I'm just smart like that.
I was
I'm going to
Yeah.
take it for me.
For you.
I want to say, I make her so happy.
You do. You do.
Okay.
You're
Okay.
You're so you're extra, you're always loving, but tonight you're extra glowy. Maybe it's because you know we're talking about a deep subject and we all feel these things right now, and you just came in just so light. You're like, there's no reason for this. So thank you.
Ditto.
Right? Feel that?
Yes.
Even extra happy
Okay.
for us. Next.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So all of you have a bag of carrots, organic carrots preferably, because the chemicals, you'd be, once you become really get your body in clarity, you'll feel when those toxins enter your body, you'll feel when those things go. So you end up, you know, needing to eat organic because, and being able to tell when someone's saying organic, but not being organic. So it really is important to be mindful and set your intentions. What do you want? And I've gotten to the point where just make it easy. I want it easy.
Easy peasy.
Okay.
Your last name's harder, Mom. Harder.
Huh?
You're harder.
I know. If I had that to do over again, I would never be harder. I mean, I wouldn't marry Bob. It was just I would not take the name. Who wants to go through life with the name Harder?
Well, I
What was
have
I
to
thinking?
say, having our last name, everybody always smiles and always remembers your name.
Mm-hmm.
People know
And
how-
then they think it's harder with a T and not harder with a D, and you got to go through and go harder, so they understand it's a D and not a T. So anyway, it's all perfect. Anybody else have questions? Then what we'll go through is some quickie sprinkles. Anything on Instagram or Facebook?
No, just
Hello, Facebook.
someone says, I want chips now.
Me
And
too.
lemon and a cold beer.
Me too.
A few weeks back, we talked about seeing the world through our own perspective and being like a glasses that we put on that has different colored lenses. And I mentioned that I was in Goodwill and saw these lovely glasses, and I said they're meant to be mine. They'll be there when I go back. So these are my loved glasses.
Yes.
So when I put on my little glasses, I see everything red. Your energy, your vibration determines what you see, what you experience. So if you're going through depressed energy, you're functioning in the lowest vibration. You are looking at through a lower dimension, and you see everything is sort of down, depressed. You'll see all the reasons that justify your depression. It's because those are the glasses that you're wearing. If you're wearing this lovely love glasses, like I have on, with red, which is the purest form of love, and we often see pink as love, but actually red vibration is the highest form of love. And then I look at my world and I see lots of love and joy and happiness, because that's what I'm tuning into. So when you're feeling depressed and you're in those things. You're where I don't have. Okay, I do.
I love you.
You have your you have your blue glasses on that are distorted and they're keeping you from seeing anything in love. You like my visuals?
That's amazing.
And
Yes.
I love it.
See, the universe not only wanted me to get my love glasses, but they wanted my blue glasses to illustrate it. So when you're in your depressed place, consciously take off your blue distorting glasses and go, I'm putting on a pair of my etheric Heather Harder love glasses.
They suit you.
I know.
They're
I like
really
them. I like them.
beautiful.
And if you saw the difference in my world with the two different lenses on, it's the same as whatever we're looking through in our own vibration, our own energy, and we attract that. If you're operating, let's say 1 to 10, and 1 being the lowest depressed energy, when you're operating at 1, you're attracting everybody's 1s, and you're making everybody around you depressed and down as well. And so you just want to go, oh, love and light, and then you attract those people who support your love and light. Very easy. So as soon as you catch yourself being in that state, shift it. And if you can't shift it alone, give me a call and we'll shift it together. It's just that easy. Or these things are all on Stacie's feed. Sometimes they're on mine. But go back and watch this again and go, okay, I need this lesson again. And shift and look at all the different things you can do to shift, because there's so many ways of shifting the energy. You just have to be aware. Do you like my glasses?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I
So
ask-
now,
Wait,
yes.
we have a question.
Okay.
Is it okay if I speak?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So do you think it's if it's not our own and it's a lower vibrational entity, is that possible? Since they're messing with us also, and what would that be? Like, is it like a reptilian?
And if you're drinking, if you're
I
like
don't.
taking in alcohol, well, I'm just saying, so
Oh, yeah.
just as an example, you're taking in all those energies as well. If you're because when you're in that lower vibration, you're much more exposed and you can take in things. People who hang out in bars drinking, literally you bring all those people who die with addictions, with alcohol issues, they don't leave the planet. They hang around bars looking for someone who's drinking so they can experience that by drinking experience through someone else. So you can attract a lot of lower energies that way. Same with drugs, same with rageaholics. They attract people who have that rage need, and then you're raging for 2 people and drinking for 2 people. So it's really important. But yes, whenever you get in that lower state, you are much more vulnerable to all the other lower energies that are out there. Your controlling dead aunt doesn't necessarily leave. She wants to stay and control you. So when your energies are the lowest, you're becoming much susceptible to those energies. The higher your energy, it's using the fan experience that I've talked a lot about. If your fan is going very, very fast, you can't get a marble through it because there's just nothing that can penetrate that high speed energy. But if your fan is going very slow, you can get a marble through. Or if the example of the mini golf course where there was that windmill goes slow, you can get a ball through it. Not easy, but you can get the ball through it. And that's why when your energy is lower, you're much more vulnerable to impact and much more vulnerable to attack because your energy leaves you exposed. Putting your protective bubble, high energy, cosmic condom, helps protect you, especially when you're in that low place. Protect me, God. I'm vulnerable. Help me stay, in my highest level of protection.
Okay. Thank
Does
you.
that make sense?
Yes, complete.
I love the questions. Thank you. Now I expect you all to have a pair of colored glasses next week.
Yeah, that came
So,
out since you put them on. I want that.
I know. Well, I'll sit in here with different colors and you'll see the world differently. And
So cool.
and it's like the people who've got their Biden glasses on versus the people who've got their Trump glasses on. They're seeing the world through that perspective. And you can't change their mind. It's not important to change their mind. It's just that they're seeing it through their eyes, and you just honor their choices. This is a free will planet, and you can see, everybody will see things differently and be right. It's not that one person's wrong, but if you're functioning at this level, you're looking at one set of screening things, and then if you're looking at this level, you're filtering things through a different level.
All right, and I'm just throwing out there, if you're looking at glasses, these are not cute, but if you put them on and you look at lights, they work at night, everything is hearts. So it takes everything and makes them hearts.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, isn't that cute? Where'd you get those?
I was a gift because I love them so much. They're like, I have a couple pairs, take them. So I was like, what?
Oh,
You know,
you
so
tell me you have a mother?
Halo
I want a
Specs.
pair too.
Listen, ready? They're Halo Specs 3D glasses, and I think they're pretty cheap. And apparently, 3dglassesonline.com is their website. But
I want a pair.
I know, but they work
Okay.
at night, and the car lights when they come, it's all hearts. So the whole lights are hearts. It's like super special.
Oh my goodness.
I know. I try to put it on the Instagram so you can see, but it's not. It's too much light. It needs just like one light.
Okay. All right. Any other questions, or have we beaten this horse?
I think by the way, what you talked about the Biden and Trump thing, I think that's a perfect thing, that if you catch yourself in anger, if you catch yourself in this strong, intense state, think about putting the other side of glasses on and just ask.
They're wearing these glasses.
Yeah.
And
but
someone else is wearing another pair of glasses.
Well, and we have so much going on within the debate stuff. Just ask to know truth. And what am I not looking at? What is this triggering in me? Because I do feel that people are being triggered. And I want to say it's a huge thing. Phil Goodlife talked about this, that he finds most Trump haters, and I say this with love, have a lot of unresolved traumas. And they're very much bullies. They're very much like, you can't think this way. How dare you? How wrong of you? Like, they're mean about it. And so I was one of those people that I had him reflecting my unhealed traumas, and especially towards the masculine. So I just want to put it out there that if one of these candidates is triggering you, thank it, because it's teaching you there's something for you to see inside yourself, and know that we're the light, we're the love, it always wins. Love and light wins. We get to choose this as a collective. If you choose the love and light, we give love and light. If you choose this,
That implies that love and light is a competition, and the light is going to win. Light is just going to illuminate the darkness. There's no winning and losing in this journey. We're here to transform. We're here to transmute. We're here to elevate everything. It's not about losing. It's just about being. And these candidates are all mirroring something within you. Whatever you're being affected by, look to say, what is this reflecting in me? Why am I having this reaction? They're all teachers. And I only call forth divine plan to be activated.
yes.
Divine plan is perfect, and this is all part of the divine plan. I don't understand it necessarily, but I do trust it and love it. So divine plan is unfolding, and we all came to be a part of it. Yay! We're so happy.
If you're watching it, you don't know what that divine plan is, I do recommend Mom's first book, Many Were Called, Few Were Chosen, the story of Mother Earth and Earth-based volunteers. And this really is a story of how she remembers it coming into this plane of existence, how, why, and all of that funness.
It's all of our stories. And some of you are recent readers, so if you want to make a comment about it, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll make a little comment.
Okay, you can make the commercial.
I'm on maybe chapter 5 now. It's easier for me to read. I was having a harder time. My mind was like going crazy. Or not, sorry, cancel.
Thank you.
Remember,
yes. So when I'm reading it before bed, I go to sleep and I've been having dreams that I'm learning. So I'm learning things like, okay, this is how this is done. When you ask a question, it's the first things that come to mind that are going to be what to help. And it's just learning, like relearning or remembering. And it's like, you know, I wake up, I'm like, oh, cool. Or I'm like, okay, it's just, I'm relearning stuff. It's really interesting and very cool. Very cool. I love it.
Well, you're activating your cellular memory. Again, I captured the story, but I didn't create it. I remembered the story. And what it does is when people read it, if it's their story, it triggers. If it's not your story, you go, what the hell is she talking about? That doesn't make any sense at all. You just can't relate. But if it's your story, you're going to go, oh, and sometimes there's tears and sometimes there's recognition and there's, remember that experience. And so it awakens your own memory.
And
for you, it's also making you receptive to that as well.
One of the men that did come on earlier too, he said he felt like that book was written for him. And last week he ordered your Perfect Power and Consciousness. So he's already on your second book.
There you go. And it is written for you. I mean, I didn't know it was written for you, but because I wasn't a writer. I don't spell well. I don't punctuate well. I don't like to follow the rules of writing. It's just too time consuming and laborious for me. I wasn't a writer. And pretty soon the book was written. It's like, oh my goodness. I finished Perfect Power and Consciousness in 3 weeks. I was told there was a big energy coming in and I needed to have this book that told people how to use the energy and how to maximize the energy. And so I wrote that in 3 weeks. Wrote it, printed it, cover design, layout, everything in 3 weeks. It was done in 3 weeks. And it wasn't until I was working on the third book was Exploring, and that book was just my experiencing my mother dying and my family going crazy. And meanwhile, I've been talking to dead people, so I wasn't going crazy. So they thought I was going to kill my mother because I wasn't going crazy. And it was just absolutely insane times. And so I'm writing just to keep my sanity. It was my own sort of journal through the experience. And it wasn't until that book was done and I was doing a workshop and I was talking about, I did this book. And this guy in the audience says, I'm a publisher. I want to publish the book. It's like, oh my God. When the third book came out, it's like, I'm a writer. I never realized I was a writer until the third book was done. And then the fourth book, which is IDC, Interdimensional Communication, was written intentionally. That was when I was writing the book because I chose to write the book. And I was involved with politics and they kept making fun of me because I talk to dead people. So it's like, I got to write a book and tell people how to talk to dead people. So they will just get that topic off the table. So anyway, and each book has been its own story in birth, and we'll talk about that in the writing program.
Yeah, and I'm reading The Dimensions and Awakening of the Divine Consciousness, the Understanding the Earth's Journey from Third to Fifth Dimensions, and it's like, yeah. And you wrote this.
And that's the story of what we're going through now.
I know, but you wrote this several years ago.
I know.
And I think I was the woman or their daughter that said, Mom, I think that title's a little too out there. And because you put that in your forward.
Probably.
Maybe you should take a different title because that's a lot for people. But now I'm like, oh my God, thank you for not listening to me because it's like the perfect title. Like,
see, and you wonder why I don't listen to you. Amazing. I listen to one source. And that's the divine.
Oh, Mom
talks to me a lot. So, but I always entertain everybody's opinion, but in the end, my decisions are in line with the spiritual guidance. But I'm glad that you're enjoying the book. All right. Anybody else have a question before we? Are there any other questions online in our little etheric friends?
Not.
Our unseen worlds?
At this exact moment, I don't see.
Okay. Then let me play a little bit in your energy. And since tonight we're talking about energy elevation, I'm just going to tune in. And for those who want, I never force myself on anybody, but for those who want, I'm going to just share a little bit about, maybe what you can do to raise your energy or what you can do to protect your energy or anything about energy. And I've never done this before, so it'll be see how it goes. If you want turn, do your fingers. Stacie, pay attention, write the list in the order that you know, and then
Stacie's first.
I'll just, so pretty much I'm going to everybody. So I'm going to go, Sylvia, I'm going to do you first.
All right.
And then what I would say, okay, what I'm going to say to you is energetically celebrate yourself. You've spent a lot of time in your life putting yourself down. And so it's a very easy way to play with that, you know, from your younger days. We've been programmed in so many ways of diminishing our greatness. Maybe not putting yourself down is the right word, but diminishing our greatness. You need to take and sit and celebrate all the ways that you express your greatness, that you are your greatness. And this is where, Candace, you can help or make a list. And I would recommend that you get a book, the journal. I don't get no kickback on journals, but get a journal and jot down all the things that you're grateful about yourself, and all the ways that you help others, and all the ways that you serve humanity and the planet. Because just a greater appreciation for yourself is going to take your energy up in lots and lots of ways. Okay. Candace, you're next. I'm just going to go around the way the boxes are. If you don't want one, tell me, just, you're welcome. Just tell me to skip you, but I'm just going to do the things in row. And so Candace, with you, I think what your gift is that you're so absorbent and open. That's really powerful. By the same token, sometimes being open, you're taking on stuff that isn't yours. You need to become and ask for discernment to know what belongs to me and what I'm experiencing from outside sources, and then what I do with that energy from outside sources. Being able to recognize and eliminate what isn't yours, or put up a shield so that you can think in terms of all that our COVID experiences. There have been all kinds of people in laboratories examining the essence of a COVID virus, but they didn't take it on to examine it. They kept it at a safe distance, and they looked at it and they examined it. So you need to learn the skill of looking at something without owning it, and that will serve you well. Okay. It's not about not paying attention or not being mindful or not being compassionate. You just double the ickies. So think in terms of that COVID virus. We keep it at a distance. We learn from it, but we don't have to own it. Okay. Does that make sense? Any questions? You're muted. You don't look like you're muted. Okay, now.
How could I not own it? How am I owning it? Like, I think I'm doing something.
Your volume isn't working. So I'm going to repeat you for Mom. And she goes, how am I?
I heard.
Oh,
okay. It's very light. You're right, but I did hear it. You've been doing it for so long. I understand why it would feel normal. I'm thinking of an example. I'm going to pretend that I know your husband. I don't know your husband, but let's say he's in a really bad mood, and you've been in a pretty good mood, and he comes in and he's in a really bad mood, and pretty soon you're in a bad mood too. You have owned his feelings, you've taken them on, and through misguided intentions, you're now doubling his misery. Does that make sense? Yeah. It becomes yours. So don't do that. You know, he can be upset and angry or hurt or whatever it is, and you can say, oh, I'm so sorry that happened. Would you like to tell me about it? Or, you can, but you don't own it. I was told that my older daughter plays with depression and has most of her life. And I was told that she chose me as a mother because I could let her experience this, which is her teacher, without owning her depression. I don't need to be depressed because I have a depressed daughter. And you feel the need to be depressed in order to have compassion over it, and it's not necessary. Okay?
That was perfect. Thank you. I got it immediately.
You're welcome. Thank our friends that are working on our behalf. Christina. Again, a lot of the same things with that. You take on things that don't belong to you, and you add to it that mental obsession of rethinking and questioning your own motives and your own actions and stuff. So you take and feel icky, and then rather than just, oh, I feel icky, you start obsessing about why and how and what you've done to cause it. And so you I sort of call that spinning your tires in the mud. You get stuck in the mud spinning, and so you need to be able to break the mind. And it goes back, have you taken the mind workshop?
No, but I feel like I really need to. I must.
Yes, because your mind controls a lot of your emotions at this point in time rather than you controlling your mind. And so it would serve you well. But for you,
this Saturday?
What day did we say we're doing classes? See how she changes things? Wednesday. We're doing classes on Wednesday, and we're going to set the schedule up so that next week we can announce the schedule. Okay?
Well, why can we
Say
announce
yes.
it now, and then people can actually plan on it, since you're not doing emails?
We spent all that time voting, and we just voted in Wednesday. So just say Wednesday.
Would anybody like to join Wednesday if we do the mind class?
Wednesday. Stacie, we're not voting again. It's done. It's all finished. Thank you. I'm going to finish Christina now. Okay. I love you.
Yeah.
Let me do Christina. Back to Christina. But you could do the mind class first if you'd like. Anyway, so for you, that's your mind starts generating and taking you down. You become, it's like mind, and you just compress your energy. And so what you need, create a mantra, whatever it is, some one sentence ditty that you can say whenever you feel that mental ritual go into, that loop that you get into, to say something like, I am light, I am love, I am beauty, I am blessed, so be it. And I'm grateful, and I'm grateful. And then so you just go into that to shift that energy immediately, stop that mind from playing that track, will serve you. And then, like, so all these things could be for all of you. Then, like Sylvia, start counting your blessings and how you're impacting people's lives, where you've impacted people's lives, and all the things you're grateful for about yourself.
Thank you. Makes sense. It is. It's my mind, my heart, my mind they're so different. And I'm like, yeah, the mind is so much chatter. And
well, that's the journey we're on, from mental to heart, from mind to heart. And the heart is the expression of our soul knowing. And so the fact that you're struggling with that probably means that's what you'll be teaching others. We struggle most with the things that we'll be the teacher of. Yeah, so not to worry, just I'm open. I allow myself to move through my lessons peacefully, joyfully, harmoniously, in divine perfect time. That's my go-to.
You just made it.
So I recommend it.
It made it so clear. You made it so very clear for me. Now I understand, because I know my heart, and I'm like, this mind doesn't match this, and I'm like, why am I here? And it's a lesson. It's just a lesson to learn how to to master it. And I love. Thank you.
And I'm getting chills, because that's the journey we're on, and you have to pay attention to every little nuance in order to teach other people. That's like every book that I've written has been about my journey that I'm on at that time. I don't remember all the stuff that's in Perfect Power, because those were old lessons. I've gone through that. I remember many were called more, because I read that every year at least once. So, but the lessons I'm getting at that moment, I'm taking them apart as I'm doing it and being shown the pieces after the fact, so I can capture them and help other people with their journey. But really, all the books are just designed to help you feel confident in, I'm doing that, and surrender more to the path that you're on. So pay attention.
So much.
That could be the whole focus of your book, your journey from head to heart.
I think that is.
I love
so journal it.
I think
tonight to journal it. Yeah, just journal it, start writing about it, because we're all writing our path. It's what gives us our street cred. It's what gives us the authority to tell other people. You know, I've been through this. I know this. If you remember Dave Peltzer, who wrote A Child Called It, I don't know, a child called It, and the boy called something else, and all these series of books he wrote, because he was so badly abused, in his healing journey, and each book is a little chunk of that. But it gives the experiences, gives him the credibility to write about it. And that's really what we're doing as well. Not to be depressed because of it, but to celebrate it. Ooh.
It is. I've been through so much that I feel like I when I give advice, it's so pure because I've been through it and I truly understand what they're going through, and I'm grateful for all of my hardships, which have been many, but I am grateful, very grateful. And this is just another. This is not the last, of course not, but this is making sense to me now because I'm always struggling here, and I'm like, why? Because this is not that. It's so different. Thank you.
And I would also suggest that maybe not give so much advice, because people don't like advice, but just tell them your story. You're teaching your story, and if people pull their own lessons from it, and tonight we've shared a lot of different things, each one of you will take away something else. It's not that I'm preaching, this is the gospel and you do these 14 steps and buy this product and do this and do that and everything is going to be okay. It's about empowering you for your journey. Your story will empower other people, because not everybody's going to do it exactly the way you're doing it, but your story is what gives you credibility.
I should have said, excuse me, I should have worded it, when people ask for my advice, I'm confident in that because I've been through it. Not that I give advice. Nothing's my business. What people do is not my business. Thank you, Heather, so much. Thank you. It made me so happy.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad you showed up in class tonight. See?
Of course. I wouldn't miss.
So happy.
I love that. And then also, I just want to restate that statement because I think it's such a good one that you usually say. But I move through my lessons peacefully, joyfully, in divine, perfect time, and make your own words up. Do you have your exact words you'd like to repeat, Mom?
Well, it's I allow myself, because sometimes we be our own worst enemies. So I allow myself to move through my lessons. We're going to go through lessons no matter what. They are one after another, like the Kleenex. Do one, the next one pops up. They're not going to go away. So you can't avoid the lessons. But I allow myself to move through my lessons peacefully, joyfully, harmoniously, in divine, perfect time. So many people want to rush at the end. When you finish all your lessons, you die. You know, what's the hurry? So just really enjoy each lesson. And when it's finished, the next one will present itself. You don't need to search them out. You don't need to poke and see what's sore today. Just they're going to show up when you're ready for them. And if you're not getting it yet, you're not ready for it yet. So just allow yourself. I allow myself to move through my lessons peacefully, joyfully, harmoniously, in divine, perfect time. And it doesn't matter what order of those three words are. Okay? Is that good, Stacie?
Yes, it's great. Next question. Okay. Real quick. I'm redoing this. Someone did ask there is the class on Wednesday.
A week from Wednesday. We're going to present the schedule next week, a week from Wednesday.
Okay. And so it's not this Wednesday.
Not this Wednesday, because I have to email everybody out. So it's a week from Wednesday. And we want to make sure that people know, if they want to know more about our Egypt trips, that they're going to send us their email so we can give them information on our Egypt trips.
Okay.
So they can send you the.
Is heather@heatherharder.com. And then, so we're not doing it.
Heather@heatherharder.com. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
What class are you teaching? Is it body mastery or mind mastery? That's the question.
We will start with mind mastery a week from Wednesday. Then we go to body mastery, and then we do manifestation, because these two impact this. We do manifestation. And then we'll do boundaries after that, because Candace has requested it, and that's very important. And then I got to remember what Charlene requested, because I can't remember. And whatever that is will be the next one. Okay?
Can I
Thank
say
you.
something?
Terry. Yes.
Jose?
Can I say something?
I mean,
Joseph?
Josh.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I thought you were going to teach a class about communication with, I don't know, about like communicating to.
That goes conscious communication. The next one.
There you go.
In our list. Oh,
Yes.
IDC.
yes.
IDC will have to be an all-day Saturday class. I mean, or all-day Sunday class. It's not a. No, I take that back. We'll work on that one. But yes, you're talking about the interdimensional communication or conscious communication.
I think the interdimensional.
Talking to dead people or talking to live people. Okay, talk to dead people.
Talking to dead people.
Actually, we need more help talking to live people, because we don't understand that process either.
Right.
Okay, so next week we'll have a very extensive schedule to present to the world. So
Well,
Stacie's doing copious notes.
I have a question. If we were to do the IDC, the interdimensional communication, I'm just putting it out there just to see if would anybody be interested in doing this Saturday if we did it this Saturday? And learning how to communicate.
I'm not interested in doing it. I know. No, I'm not doing it this Saturday.
Okay, well, your next Saturday is
not a choice.
classes, and
First of all, when we do IDC, we have to do it in pairs. You cannot do the exercises alone online. So you have to have someone else in the room with you. So we have to have people sign up and with partners. And then I take preparation time. Usually I'm preparing the week before to be able to present the workshop. So it's not a.
Sometimes you don't have to spend so many hours prepping. You already are.
I'm not preparing for this. I'm preparing energetically and getting the alignments together, Stacie. We're not talking. It's a different kind of preparation than.
All right. Well,
getting my notes in order.
Just so you know.
Just trust me.
Not this week, but
just trust me.
Okay, listen. The next week is the 10th, and that's when your writing class starts. Just a reminder.
I know. And it'll all happen in divine perfect order, I promise you.
And
I promise you.
I allow myself to move through my lessons peacefully, joyfully, in divine perfect time. Because you mirror my issues, so thanks.
I mirror your issues? Mm-hmm. I would say that we maybe another one that we add that is I trust the universe and the divine timing of everyone's activities. You're not trusting me and my divine timing. So I live in a safe world and I trust the divine timing. That's okay. Terry, are you ready? Okay. I would say you need to honor the kind of energy you are. Everybody is a different energy form. I've used in different workshops salad analogy. There's some tomatoes, and there's some lettuce, and there's some onions. And to have a really interesting salad, there has to be a lot of different kinds of ingredients that bring it all together. Some people are going to be the dressing, and some people are going to be the spices and stuff. Your energy is like a ranch dressing. It's very smooth. It's very energetically. It's very calm. It's very old, very wise energy. And way too often you look at some other form of energy and go, but I want to be a tomato. I want to be a green pepper. That you really don't honor that smoothness that you bring. It's very powerful. And if you could be outside yourself watching your impact when you enter a room or enter a group, act as the cohesive element to bring people together. You've got a very unifying energy. It's not as distinct or interesting as maybe the peppers or the tomato that's the colorful, bright kind of thing. But it's exceedingly important for the cohesiveness of the experience. And so I'd say for you to take and raise your energy is just about honoring that which you bring to an experience, honoring the energy that you are. Any question?
No, that's very interesting. Thank you.
When you enter a room, it's very hard to see the room before you got there, but look for ways that you recognize the impact you're having on others. I think you'll be shocked that you'll see someone who's maybe a little geared up, and you're just there, just breathing, and all of a sudden they're calming down. You have a much, much bigger impact on people and groups and situations than you currently recognize.
That's just really interesting, because the last couple of weeks I've been focusing on keeping myself very calm and in the present moment. And yeah, so thank you.
Well, part of the reason why you're focusing on that is because that's your true state. You're bringing the natural you to the fore, and that authentic you is part of what you're needing. It's not you're needing to find expression for it, so you're calling it in quite intuitively, but it's because that's who you are. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so I honor that very calm, soothing, smooth part of you. And if I do my work tonight, I'm announcing that on Tuesday, for those who live in our area, I'm going to be doing an in-person gathering on letting go. So we may have an opportunity of coming together.
Mm-hmm.
And if you all want to fly out, what?
Why don't you let me do it on Zoom and then I can stream it?
I want to do it live. I want to do a
live.
fire pit in the. I'm
have
gonna do.
You just have your phone set up. You can ignore me and you sit there and talk normally, and I will take care of it on the other end.
When I'm on Zoom, I focus on the energy going out into the ethers, and there will be other people. When I'm in person, it's to our group, and it's a live, masked, optional, and a good weather fire experience of letting go. You can't do that. Trust me, Stacie. I live in a safe universe, and I trust others. Look at her. She just, okay. We'll talk about that later. Okay, Josie.
Oh, I'm next. I was just yaying about the campfire and stuff. I was like, all right.
Yes. I get posted on Meetup. So, are you on my Meetup list?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Anyway, so I'm okay. All right.
Get me on the Meetup list.
Josie, you have, and you've talked about it different times, so this isn't new information, but you've had a very challenging life experience. And it's like if someone's done a lot of car mechanics, they get little black things under their fingernails and stuff. The oil gets ground into their skin and they don't get it gone easily without a lot of extra work. You've had those dark energies with you and around you for a very long time. So what I would recommend to you to raise your energies, when you take a shower, when you take a bath, spend as much time internally cleansing yourself as you do externally. You might even put some Epsom salts in your water with the intention of pulling out of you all the toxins, all the residue from all these experiences through your life. You need to spend as much time cleaning your energy because some of those little dark spots have become so comfortable that you forget you have them.
That's perfect. I related to the last, not Terry, but the one before, about how things just get caught up in your mind and plays over. like you can let it get to that point.
Yeah.
I can do
That's
that.
Kristen.
Yeah, I can do that like when I feel like I'm getting depressed. Or I shouldn't even say that. But anyway, because I was trying to lower my antidepressant medication and I started feeling depressed. So, between my therapist and my psychiatrist just decided to go back to the other strength because it's working better. And I'm like trying to get off this stuff. But so I'm just doing what the
Well, just recognize that everything is perfect.
okay.
I'm not saying someone has got to get off their medication. I'm saying
Right.
what you do to live your highest energy, and as a end result, you may lower your medication, but that's not the goal. The goal is for you to live in your highest vibration that you can carry at any given point in time. And so for right now, it's it's between you and your doctors what medication you take.
Right.
I'm not prescribing anything to anyone.
I know.
But because again, you've all seen those mechanics that work on cars and
Yeah,
grease and oil
yeah.
and stuff, and their skin, it's like it gets into their skin and it's hard to clean out. Not that they're not clean, it's just that it's such a embedded thing. And energetically, you've got some of those dark spots embedded in you that you've carried a long time. So when you're bathing, when you're showering, just set the intention to let go. And all of you can benefit from all of the advice. Just look to see what has the most meaning for you. And so, any questions, Josie?
I do that because I intentionally buy the bath salts, and then just because I've heard that that's like the best thing to cleanse with, your whatever you have, stones or whatever in your body. So I do the bath salts, and I start from my root, go up the chakras and clean them out. And
all right, when you're going up your chakras to clean them up. Okay, when you're going at your chakras, make sure you can see the colors. And I don't know what bath salts you're using, and I don't want to know. But make sure that they don't have any artificial color or dyes or ingredients. That's why Epsom salt is just pure salt. It's very natural. It's also a poultice. It pulls things out, so it's the easiest and cheapest, which is always a nice thing too. But if you're adding artificial ingredients or artificial colors and stuff, you can actually be doing more damage than good with the salt. So you have to, be mindful of that. But just be aware that it's about bringing this energy in and up and through you. And I think clearing out the chakras are fine, but just imagine each color, that you're getting each color very clearly. And if there's any kind of grays or misties or speckles, let them go. So
yeah, I've got
okay.
An exercise I go through about releasing them but I learned it anyway. I learned it from Archangel Michael, and you start at the root, and then
okay, I don't need to hear it because it's for you. So
right.
if
Well,
do it,
going
but
good, yes,
but
yes, going good.
okay, but when you do it, make sure you're talking to your body, and your body is also saying what's going on. One thing given by Archangel for masses may not be what's best for you. So you always want to tune into your body and what does your body want or need, because it may not be as perfect for everyone as it is for someone. Okay, so just tune in, make it very personal what you're needing in that moment. Okay. Love you.
That was good.
And now Mayfer, let's play with you. Okay. And so Mayfer, we're going to play with your energy right now. When I play with your energy, it's you've all seen those movies with the mummies and they're all wrapped in, in rags, and that holds them all in and preserves them. Your energy has this constriction on it, whether it's the old 50s girdle image or the wrapping and the gauze that keeps you confined. You need to break free. For you, you need to just imagine expanding your energy. If you can imagine taking your hair, for instance, as an example, and right now it's very close to your head, and then just making it bouffant. You can imagine how big you could make your hair should you want to do that. Imagine do that with your energy. You want to expand the energy. You've kept yourself very acceptable, very tight, very close for a very long time. Now, it could be cultural, it could be for 1,000 reasons. It doesn't matter what the reason is. If you want to expand your energy, you have to just imagine blowing it up like a balloon. In fact, that you might even have a balloon around as an example, that you blow. The balloon is only this, but as you blow it up, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's what you're doing with your energy. You're expanding it intentionally in order to amplify who you are. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
Okay. Love you. And then we have Sammy, who's new to our call. Next time you're gonna have to get on earlier.
But she's been on Instagram, and you know Sammy.
I know, but I'm just saying.
On IG.
Okay.
So welcome.
Hi, Sammy. Now, because you're not as, but these people I've been playing with their energies all along, because your energy is relatively new, what I would like you to do is just say your name, and your name is the biggest condensed version of your energy, and then your voice that you're saying your name with also sends out your energy. So I'm going to connect with that. So if you will just say your name.
Sam.
All right, because you're sort of a new thing here. Have you gone through a lot of sadness lately?
I
You
have.
been in a sad place? Because your energy is causing me to get like these knots in my stomach, and so that's always like something I'm eating is bothering me, and so whether it's consuming the thoughts or whether it's consuming food, but your disturbance is coming from what you're consuming, whether it's bad information, bad advice, bad things. Stacie, I'm getting a lot of background noise. Can you mute everybody except Sammy and me?
Yes, give me a second to go mute you in the process.
Okay.
Okay, so Sam, you just have to allow yourself to be unmuted.
Done.
There we go. Okay. I don't know if you heard the background. It was almost like wind going.
A little bit, yes.
All right. And so I'm playing a little bit with the energy. It's very challenging to find
Do you want me to say my full name?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I've already got your energy. It's
Okay.
important. But what's happening is you know how a cow eats and then it regurgitates and then eats it again and digests it several times before it finally consumes. I forget what they call that, but you do that with your thoughts. You consume your thoughts and then you go through it again and then you consume your thoughts and then you bring it up and you consume it again. And that's causing you a lot of mental distress, which impacts your energetic presence, which impacts your life experiences. I hope you saw my lovely glasses that showed that we look through our dimension, which is created by our frequency. But you need to recognize and bring each thought to resolution. So when you're having a thought, bring it to resolution, and you can do that by imagining the angels taking it away or giving it to the angels to resolve or whatever, but you want to bring it to close. And then when you feel the need to bring it up again to rehash it, no, the angels are working on it. I don't need to bring it up again. But you need to find a way of stopping yourself from going through and regurgitating and then reprocessing the same things over and over again. I wish you could feel my stomach. It's like that acid reflux, which I don't have. Thank you very much. But that's what's all coming up as I play in your energy. So it isn't pleasant for you. And I'm not sure where you learned that that was necessary, but I promise you it isn't.
So
Think
is it
assign
like
it.
over analyzing? Is
Yes.
that okay? Yeah, I do
That's one
overanalyze a lot.
expression of it.
Yes. But I like to think what I was worrying about and what was causing all of that negative energy is now behind me, but I still think about it. And now I'm finally able to focus on a new chapter and new energy and move past what's happened. But of course, there's residual
All right.
feelings,
What I
energy.
would say, there's all kinds of ways to bring it to resolution. You've got to find a way to bring it to resolution that feels comfortable to you. But writing it out, I'm real big on journals. And then getting some of the little heart stickers or drawing red hearts on it. Imagine wearing Stacie's funky glasses and putting red hearts on, letting love carry it. But you need to find a way of putting it to bed permanently. We're going to change analogies now. On TV, you all have TV someplace or have seen them at least. And you've got, in my area, we have channel 2, which is CBS, NBC, ABC, and WGN. So those are our main channels. If I'm watching CBS, ABC, NBC, WGN is continuing on. They're not stopping because I'm not watching. And then if I turn from CBS to WGN, I'm watching that, but CBS continues without me. So I see my life experiences much like that. And so if I'm at a CBS station and something's going on and I can't bring it to resolution, I'll say, okay, I want you, my mind, body, spirit, angels, all my helpers, to continue to work on this to bring it to resolution. Bring to me the perfect answer of what to do with the situation. And then I go to NBC, and in my life I'm on NBC now, knowing that I've got a team working on CBS, and without fail, and I travel with a lot of trust, and you got to have trust, but without fail, when that resolution comes up, it pops up, and I don't spend any energy worrying about it. I don't spend any energy thinking about it. I just trust that, as I'm doing NBC in my life, CBS is still going. And so you've got to find a way of, because every time you go back and think about them, analyze it, you're bringing all that stuff up energetically, you're bringing it into your current. You don't want to do that, because you're just empowering it, amplifying it, that kind of stuff. And we've been programmed that if we analyze, if we think about it, if we worry about it, that somehow something positive is going to come out of it. And that's not the way the universe works. The energy is amplified and nothing good comes out of it. We just create what we're worrying about. That which you resist persists. When, as I said many times, my family was not always supportive of my gifts. And an example of my mother, who loved me. I mean, there was not any abuse or animosities. She loved me, but she'd say, Heather, put on your coat. You're going to catch cold. I'm fine, Mom. I don't need a coat. No, put on your coat. You're going to catch cold. And so she would keep going on. I'm going to put on your coat. You're going to catch cold. Now, she was worrying about my health, but what she was really saying, without her realizing it, is, Heather, you're too stupid to know if you're cold or not. Put on your coat so I feel better. And if we program that and allow those thoughts to take over, then all of a sudden it's like, I can't trust my own feelings that I'm warm enough. I have to listen to my mother to put my coat on because she knows more than I do about me. And we begin to undermine ourselves by listening to people who are worrying about us. But worrying is a confidence in truth. that something is going to go wrong, something bad is happening. It's not confidence that the universe is going to give me what I'm asking for, allowing. It's the opposite. So again, look at yourself and what you're thinking and what you're doing and what you're doing and what's going on in your head and your heart and your body, so that you can raise and elevate all of it and put these worry moments away. Whether you write them on a little slip of paper and put them in a jar. This is my worry jar, and everything I need to worry about is going in the jar, and then the angels are going to work on it while I'm something else. You've got to trust that everybody knows what's best for them, and it's not your job to worry about anything. And if something's going on in your life that's causing you worry, then you need to get outside that and think about the resolution you either want or you desire or you're putting into place. That's a lot of complicated information, Sam. And I hope
It is,
it
especially
makes
if you're,
sense.
it does, especially if you are starting on a new adventure or a new beginning and worrying if that's going to, you know, be the right decision or will it work out?
There's no wrong decisions.
You're
There's no
right.
wrong
There
decisions.
isn't.
We're just here to love, laugh, experience, grow. So you screw up. How many people have learned a lot from screwing up? So you fall down and get bloody knees. Okay, you get up and you learn that you're going to avoid that one next time. You know, there's no wrong. It's just an
Right.
experience. So what's going to bring me my greatest joy in this moment? And then let's go full tilt, or let's walk gingerly into the experience.
Yes.
So I can make wise decisions along the way. There's no right or wrong. When I opened my first business, no one in my family had ever been in business myself. I was a teacher. That was a very respectable job, and it was very, very steady, approved work. A girl could be a teacher. But I quit my job to buy a building and open a childcare center, and nobody had ever been in business himself. And my family went bonkers. You know, oh my gosh, my husband went bonkers. I didn't know what I was doing, but well, hell, I'll find out, you know. And so it wasn't about worrying about making a mistake or not. It was just like, let's go see what happens. And did it the first year, thought, oh, this is kind of fun. Opened another building the second year. And then a couple of years later, did a third one. And then decided a few years later on the road, I had a fourth one. But all along the way, I was learning. In fact, I sold my business as 20 years old, a year later, when I wasn't learning anything. I could do it in my sleep. I wasn't learning anything. So that's when I sold them and moved on to another phase of my life. And I opened each center in a different world just so I would learn. I had a low income, middle income, high income, and a very urban area that I was running childcare centers in because I wanted to learn. I wanted to experience. But you'll never guarantee your success because we're not here to be successful. That would be completely boring. We're here to experience and grow. So if you find yourself worrying, know it's non-productive use of your energy, like idling your car. You can do it. There's no problem. There's no right or wrong. You can do it, but it isn't the most fun way for us to spend our existence. And if we're looking at elevating our energy, it isn't an elevating energy experience.
And
okay.
I'd love to add just a couple things to that real quick, because one is, as you know, I was a figure skater. So for us, we fall thousands of times while we learn to jump. And it's kind of hard sometimes going into it when you know you're just going to crash, but it's like you still do it because you have to learn. And each time until you get the right feeling, then it's like, oh, okay. But it's always little adjustments here, little adjustments there. And like, it's like the littlest things, you know, will change. So it's, I think, yes, having your intentions. What do you want the final outcome? How do you want to feel? And so I think really important thing I've learned, because I was that person that would overanalyze everything in my head and very much in my head. And when I would go to mom's events, I would fall asleep because my subconscious just literally is the only way for me to like actually listen, is to shut my mind down and go to sleep. So I've played on getting to become peace with my mind. And so one of the things that I find super helpful right now is because it's so.
I will also say.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say, when you're ice skating, not only did you allow yourself to fall down, but you prepared for it. I mean, you learn how to fall down, and you have these great big pads. And when she got off the ice after, practicing, she would be massive bruises in her. And even though she had specific boots that were made to her feet and very expensive,
Yeah, you got to get special
she'd have her feet full of blistered, and she'd get still out there and give it our all, even though she knew that when she's spinning in the air, she's going to end up on that hard ice. I couldn't have done it, but she did it because that's how she learned, and it was her passion. And so don't worry about not falling down, just do it. And I've got videotapes of her falling down in different competitions where she looks like people would actually say, did she mean to do that? Because she just twirl and spin on the ground and then up again. She always did it with such flair. So
believe that I was like, I fell twice, and they're like, we thought it was part of your routine. Like, everybody was like, I was like, no, I just was like, all right, have fun with it. Like, I'm scooting on my butt, like, might as well just make it some fun choreography. But and I was shocked that I won. I was the only one that fell too. But anyways, going back. So one of the things, going back to the mind, because I have really played and explored a lot in this, as soon as you witness yourself in a negative thought pattern, like, ooh, I'm keep repeating this, ooh, and it doesn't feel good. As soon as you notice that you're stressed out in your body, you just have to choose. It is that simple. So you just witness it, you feel it, and then ask, do I want to stay in this? Do I want to choose this feeling, or what do I want to put in my body? And then if you don't want to stay in that feeling, then you could do it several ways. You could just literally intentionally, like, okay, I'm done with that, thank you. You can ask the questions. What is this teaching me? What am I learning from this? Why does this keep showing up? And then, is this mine? Is it not? We talked about that a little earlier. But then when you're ready and you really get to sit and listen to it, you can also pull it out of your body. What color is it? What does it look like? What's the texture? And then you get rid of it, and then you replace it with, what do you want? I want to feel good. I want to feel happy. I want to feel joy. And then maybe that's bright yellow balloons, and you just put these yellow balloons and you fill your body. There's all kinds of ways you can do it, but it starts with choice. You have to choose your thoughts, and you choose how you feel. And that's the beauty of life, is everything is a choice. So it doesn't mean it's easy in an instant. It can be if you allow it, but you have to choose. I would choose better. And so the first and foremost is just being aware. This is my pattern. This is what I've done. And so it's about expansion. And this is what we're here for. We think this is fun. So I catch myself.
Josie jumped out of a perfectly good airplane just for the fun of it. I mean, think about what we do for fun. This is fun.
And then another question, actually from Mayfer, from Mom, what you were talking to her about. So you said about expanding her energy. And so she asked, when you say to expand my energy, that could be done by imaging it, expanding, ? So I think that's a really good question. And how do you expand your energy?
Again, we look at the how. It is not important. As soon as we set the intention to expand the energy, it's expanded. And so it can, what I call the 3 V's, visualize, verbalize, or vitalize. So we can just imagine taking a dial and turn it up like a fan. We can take and imagine, visualize it just expanding like a balloon. We can verbalize it and say, today my energy is bigger than it was yesterday. It's higher than it was yesterday, whatever we want. So visualize, verbalize, vitalize. There's no wrong way. You can't do it wrong. You just have to set that intention and let it happen, because it's who you are. You are a creator. You have the power to co-create your world. You are both the creation and the creator. So how do you want to create? Any way you want. Doesn't matter. That's the manifesting workshop. So.
And then there's one more person.
Okay. Oh, do we have any questions online or anything?
Yeah, Josie's got her
any
hand.
Questions?
Josie.
Okay. Do we have any other questions on YouTube or Facebook or any of those things?
Someone also said she also wants to skydive.
You what?
She also wants to skydive.
Well, Josie's the one to talk to. She just jumped out of a perfectly good airplane. All right, Stacie, then let me play with you. All right. Okay. See, and I don't like doing these in public. I'd much rather do them privately off the thing. But for you, it's you are. You play with some control issues. It comes from lack of trust. But what happens when you're having to control everything? You're having to watch everything. I have to make sure that everybody's doing it the right way. I have to watch everybody and what they're doing. And what that does is takes you off center. As you begin to not worry about everybody else's path, but only focus on your own path, unless something comes into your path, then what happens is you become the master of your own path. And so I would say for you, literally not taking your energy out of the world, but taking your attention out of the world and become much more centered in the here and now. The Buddhist monks who will, look at the ant and learn from the ant because it's right there in front of them. They'll learn from things around them. That's where you are going to find your power in literally beginning to nurture your own world and not worry about everybody else's world. Not that you won't help them, not that you won't assist them, but they'll come into your world. You won't be watching what's going on. Does that make sense?
And I think that my job, that's when I ran first team. If I ran background, like on set, my job was to literally know where all the actors were, know where they were in hair and makeup, know where they know wardrobe, which scene is next, knowing that they need to go change. Like that was my job, is to know everything.
And in that job, it was very important to do that. But you were drawn to that job because you do it naturally. And so what some people would find very hard doing that, for you it was very natural because you're often looking at other people's paths and other people's actions and other people's things. And now it's time to bring it in and really become master of your path. You don't need to worry where anybody else is or what's going on, but trusting your own mindfulness of your own here and now. Okay?
Oh, thank you. I think that's a good thing for a lot of people to hear.
But it's just yours. Just own it. Just it's for you. Okay. And then we have Josie.
And then wait, I have a question. On the interview. So she's asking about if you do classes on readings, your natal chart, how to interpret the planets in each sign. So I would say, go ahead. You'd like to answer that question.
I don't do anything of those natures. I don't do tarot. I don't do horoscope. I have developed my own little astrology based on knowing people and what the issues I see coming up over and over again for certain signs. And so I do that. I think everything about your chart, your limitations, you come in as an opportunity to overcome your limitations, and every sign has its limitations and drawbacks. And then your job is to maximize your strengths. I think you're really living your life fully. You are, it's hard to tell what sign you are because you've overcome the limitations, you're expanding the assets, and people can't determine what sign you are just based on what's going on. I don't think that the astrology, I think astrology can be very helpful. If you're depending on anything to give you action, then you're focused in the wrong direction. It's not in your stars, it's in your heart. It's not in those around you, it's in your heart. Learn how to read your own heart, and your stars will become irrelevant. And apparently my chart is very interesting. I had a school of astrology in Phoenix, Arizona, that used my chart for a class project, and everybody had to do their own interpretations of my chart, which was rather interesting. But no one ever guesses my chart. No one, and 3 guesses. People get 3 guesses, and no one ever, I think once in all the time that people ask me, what sign are you? Has guessed mine, because I like to think that I've overcome my limitations and maximized my strengths, and they're relevant. And again, I use a little of everything, but depend on nothing. Well, and you look, Candace, you look like you're in a sunset now. It's very pretty background. So add a little texture to our experience. So go ahead, Stacie.
I decided that you do readings. I'd say more Akashic records / divine.
Okay. No, I do personal. I don't do readings. I've been told to call them private sessions. In a private session, I do a lot of private sessions. I do whatever spirit guides me to do. And so sometimes it's past life recall, sometimes it's journeying into the future. I do whatever it is that I'm guided to do for your growth. It's Akashic records, it's the psychic, it's the mediumship. I brought in all kinds of people's dead friends and dead relatives. It's whatever you need to get you on your journey. And everything that I do is designed to help you on your journey become more faster, better, whatever it is that you're wanting, get over your blocks. And they're very individual. No two are the same. And if you want a private session with me, I've been doing private sessions now since 07, happened to be 777. I was doing a workshop that I was told offer private sessions, and I'm thinking, I don't do anything. Private sessions, I don't know what to do. And so I know the date exactly for that one. And I get lots of feedback, positive feedback from the private sessions. But if you want one, you can just email me, and you can pay by credit card or PayPal or Cash App, any of the kind of electronic money. And you just give me 3 dates. I do most of my sessions, if I can, on Mondays and Fridays, because I find those are the days that I have the least amount of things planned for me. So just give me some days and times you're available, and then I will let you know what would be the time that's best for me. Half hour, 30 minutes is 57, and an hour is 60 minutes is $97 per session. And those were the prices I was told to charge back in 07. And until I'm told differently, I will continue to charge that. And I love playing. It's like my own little soap opera. We get to step into your world and play, and I do ongoing coaching. I've got clients that I've been helping for 5 years on a bi-weekly basis, but I meet with people monthly or weekly based on what they want, and we can set up ongoing coaching for bigger issues. So I do a lot of private work and have had some interesting experiences with that.
Amazing. Yeah. And you've
That
had,
helps, Stacie?
yes, thank you. And you've had people who've chosen to work with you for over 5 years because of the amazing improvement and empowering that you inspire within people. So woohoo, Mom.
And
so,
you can work in your professional area or your private area. It doesn't matter, because if you're working in your private areas, your personal areas, it will impact your professional work as well, and vice versa. So you can volley with either one or both or whatever, because everything is a reflection of what's going on in here. And so it's just where's the best places to play for you. And then, and if you want a private session, and people ask me, what do you call yourself? And I don't call myself anything. I'm not a psychic medium, although I can do those skills. I mean, because you don't want to limit yourself. As you move up this spiritual journey, you have all those skills. And if you just claim that I'm a this, then you limit yourself from continuing to expand into all the other skills. When I do the interdimensional communication workshops, that's all about learning how to communicate with other dimensions, whether you call them dead people or angels, or all the different forms of beings that are in other worlds. But it's all designed to assist you and your journey. The world does not need another medium out there hanging up a shingle and doing readings, but we always need those people who help uplift and help other people to continue their journey. And when you do the interdimensional communication, it really is like having your own private coaching team with you 24/7, and you don't have to pay them. It's even more fun. So
there's also a question Sam asked about when the manifestation workshop is.
Yes. Well, we'll tell you that next week because Stacie and I have to work out the details, but I want to do the mind first. And that means whole Stacie and Bay. We want to do the mind first because it's very important. And then we do the body because that's very important. And then we do the manifestation because with the manifestation, the higher your energy is, which your body determines, the quicker you manifest and the more profound your things. So the sequence of those three are mind, body, manifesting, and then
Boundaries.
we will do the boundaries, and then
Interdimensional
whatever Charlene wanted, huh?
Interdimensional communication. And then also
Interdimensional communication has to be a lot more. It's going to be either an all day or it'll be broken up into several weeks, but it's going to need its own schedule.
It'll be a day.
It's usually an 8-hour workshop just to go through the basics. And so because there's a lot of pieces in there, you really need to learn the safety behavior, because when you're opening up to these other worlds, if you don't know the rules of the road, you can get yourself in trouble. So we spend time on really learning how to be safe in that journey into the other worlds. And we do different experiences. So you go, oh, that's it. Oh, I got that. And we do a lot of double checking. And I have to find someone who I can work with here. So I can, when we're doing it online, that you all have somebody to play with, and then I have someone to demonstrate with, because it's going to be different doing it online.
Which I just
Any other questions, Stacie, before we do?
Thank
What?
you. Yes. And I'm saying I'm excited that you're open to doing it online, because for a while you were like, nope, not doing it online. You need to do it in person. So that's really cool.
Well, what I asked the universe is, how can I do this online successfully? And that's when they said that people have to sign up in pairs and they can do the exercise together, because it's not a lecture, it's an experience. And figuring out how to give you the experience was my challenge, which is why I had to wait till I got the answer, because I'm patient and I wait for answers.
Especially with your daughter, you're the patientest. Okay, so interdimensional communication asked question, or there's a question, is that the same as channeling? And I just want to say the way Mom calls it interdimensional communication is because a lot of channeling is coming from higher dimensions. And so it's interdimensional, meaning it could be angelic, it could be Palladian, it could be fairies, like there's all kinds of dimensions, but I'll let Mom answer that question her way.
Oh, thank you.
I feel
That's very kind of you.
I feel the saying, stop answering that question for me. Okay.
Well, first of all, there's lots of things that mean lots of things to lots of different people. And so when you're channeling, there's conscious voice channeling, there's unconscious channeling, where people actually leave their body and somebody else steps in and uses their body, and they're in trance channeling. And so there's lots of different kinds of channeling, but all channeling by definition means that you're bringing information through you for someone else. You are the channel. It's why they call it mediumship. You're the medium. You're the thing between here and here. That's not what I teach, although it's the same process. So what I teach is that you can connect and use the information for your own growth and development. So you are connecting. You are communicating with other dimensions, hence interdimensional communication. And you have the option of what dimension you are connecting with, and people connect with all kinds of different energy. To make it channeling, you just bring in the information and you share it. And in class, some of the exercises we do are actually channeling, so that you understand the process and you can clearly discern what the different energies feel like. Because just because you're connecting with other dimensions doesn't mean you're connecting with the highest and best source. There's a lot of unpleasant dead people. Everybody who's been electrocuted on the electric chair or hung, or every evil person in the world that's died is still in the other dimensions. And when you go to channel, or when you go to connect, you want to make sure you're not connecting with the riffraff of humanity. You want to connect with the highest and best good sources that will give you what you need and want. And so that's sort of what I teach, is really more of a focus on personal use. But if you want to use it to channel and share with other people, you can, but that's not our focus. If you It's not about hanging out a shingle and becoming the next channeler or the next psychic or the next medium. It's about how do you become the best person that helps everybody in your world, although it's the same process.
Yeah. And
Yes, Stacie.
there was a comment that says Ouija board, and then it talks about scary. And so I just want to say it's not scary. It's learning. It's like we don't just get in a car and just expect to know how to drive on the freeway. Like you have driver's ed, you get a permit. Like, so there's nothing to be scared about. It's just about knowing how to protect yourself and your energy and to keep you safe. It's like
well, earlier we talked about compassion and understanding.
Yeah.
First of all, the Ouija board is a dimensional bridge. It does open up. However, it was sold and marketed as a toy, as a game. And so people take that foo kind of energy into the experience and say, oh, let's see what happens. And they open this door and they get some experiences that can be quite scary and can be quite dangerous. They open a portal, but they haven't been taught how to keep that portal closed or how to send them back. They haven't been given the safety skills of that. So they get in trouble. So I agree. I would never recommend to anybody to use a Ouija board, even though I do know they work, but they can become really counterproductive for a happy, healthy life. And I've met a lot of people and helped them undo some of the damage caused by Ouija boards. But that's another issue. Then what was the second part of that? With Ouija board was first part, and then what was the second part?
just about scary.
Oh well, and with that, only people who are not successful in the DC workshop are people who are apprehensive, scary. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen? I don't want to open this door, and they don't. And it's a free will kind of thing. So if you're in that state, you don't want to take the class because you're going to attract like. And so if you're scary, you're going to attract scary things. But I was kind of impatient. Not that I know you're going to find this hard to believe, with some of my students who were like, it's like, oh, for God's sakes, just do it. And then one day I opened my computer and there was at that time you saw the last 4 files that you'd worked on. And one of those files was this letter to Dr. Harder. And it was very intense energy. And I knew I had not written a letter to Dr. Harder. And it's like, what the hell, where did this come from? And so I opened up this letter and it was a letter to Dr. Harder. And it said, Dear Dr. Harder, and it goes on about John's rules. And there were 4 rules. There were John's rules. And it was very dictatorial, very intense energy. And it's the first rule, never have for breakfast yesterday's dinner. Now, rule number 2, never put a laptop on top of an erection. Number 3, never have for breakfast, never smart off to someone holding a glass of water. What was the 4th one? Never give your heart away unless you're willing to live without it. Now, at one level, those are kind of smart-assy things. On other level, they're kind of profound. If you've got an erection, don't bother with the laptop. So that there was all kinds of level of that. And I hadn't written it. It was just in my computer. And it really shook me up. I have to say, it really shook me up. And I never communicate when I'm in this unbalanced energy. And so it probably took me about a week to calm down until I could finally, okay, breathe into it. Okay, what about this letter? Where did this letter come from? Why was this letter in my computer? And again, always ask questions. And they said that I was getting too complacent with my students. I didn't understand how scary it was for them to open these doors to these other worlds and get this information. So I needed an experience. And I felt how violated I felt. Who's in my computer? Why are they doing that? What is this? This makes sense. And they said that was part of my own developing compassion for my students. And I thought, okay, it worked. I got it. It can be kind of nerve-wracking to have these things in there. And then I was told that if I would allow, they could just teleport all my books directly into the computer, bypass me at all. And I thought, that's tempting. But I, again, as a university professor, do I get to write my name on a book I didn't write? You know, from a plagiarism, you know, where does this stand? And I said, no, I couldn't handle the ethical issues it would raise, that at this point I'll just do my books myself. I now have said, okay, maybe now I'm willing to let them come in. But at the time it was very hard, but it was a very strange experience. And I've since had several strange experiences like that, but that was the first and most profound. So yes, it can be, it turns your world around, because you know, you can no longer pretend it doesn't exist. You recognize how real this other world is, and you recognize how impactful it can be by just making this contact, and you feel it, you literally feel it. So it's a profound experience, and I feel honored to teach the class, and I've taught it all over the world, and for thousands and thousands of people, and no two are the same.
And even in Egypt,
It's
we got
always interesting.
great pyramids and the Sphinx behind you, this lovely glass, and she taught us in our Egypt trip.
Yeah, in the shadow of the pyramids, very profound. All right, so Josie, your hand has been up and you've been patiently waiting, so I'll let you answer your questions, and then Stacie, I'll let you finish whatever you want to finish, and then we'll do our closing. So Josie, what's your question? I got nothing. You're muted. Okay.
You gotta, she remuted herself.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay.
When people, okay, I went to a Reiki massage, and I got there and I knew she like brings in people that have, you know, died. And so I was standing outside before I went in, and I just said, my family better show up. You guys better show up. So anyway, I got in there, and I just want to know, like, what is that called? Like, my whole family came.
Dangerous. I'd say dangerous is how I would define it. Because when she's massaging energy into you, she's doing a direct infusion of energy into your body. Now she's bringing in all kinds of dead people. She's not screening them for energy or for whatever. And so not only is she shooting her energy in, so if her energy is good, yay. If it's crummy, okay, it's like polluted blood. She's sending in all the energy of the family that may be a mixed blessing. I mean, you can love your mother, but your mother may not be healthy. You can love your uncle, but your uncle may not be healthy. And she's putting all that energy in. So I would say, from my world, I would not experience that. You want to bring in through dead people? Fine, talk to me about them. You want to do energy? Let's make energy and be very pure, holding the highest energy while you're sending it into my body. And then I would also be putting up my little cosmic condom to make sure that energy is being filtered into its highest form as it's going into my body. You can be elevated with someone's energy, or you can be impacted in a negative way with someone's energy. So because of all those mixes, nobody can control all that. When I was before, I did a lot of radio shows, and people would call in, and I would bring in relatives and various people who were sending messages and stuff. And it got so there. Some of you may have heard Mancow. He's in the Chicago market, but you know, I brought in his father, and his father was an extremely controlling person, and I couldn't get rid of him. And he was a minister. He was very, very controlling. And so it taught me that even I, as strong as I am, can be impacted by this other world in a way that I don't choose to be impacted by. So from that point on, I no longer talk directly to your relatives or anybody else's relatives. I have a gatekeeper who they talk to, and I talk to my gatekeeper. So I don't connect directly with their energy, because a lot of them are much lower energy than I am, and I don't want that energy in my body. So I have now a gatekeeper that help, and intentionally, whenever I'm bringing in someone else's loved ones, I'm not going to be impacted by them. I let myself always be elevated.
That all worked because it was like everybody was there, and I was like, okay. It was weird. Just a lot of them stepped in to say, you know, I'm fine, or, you know, I didn't get hurt in that accident, didn't hurt me, I didn't feel anything, you know, and then they'd like bring in the next person, and I was like, oh my God, this is so weird.
Well,
But
again, everybody has their own way, and I'm not saying anybody else is a fraud.
right.
A lot of people are saying they're doing things that they aren't. I know from my own standpoint, and even with you guys, you see how long it takes to switch energies. I'm with your energy, and then I have to unplug and then switch into someone else's energy. And you've got a very noisy sound system, Josie, so I muted you again. It takes a bit to energetically plug and unplug. And then I also have to neutralize the energy, balance my energy out, because it gets bounced around just plugging into different people's energy. If you've got someone who's saying, oh, this uncle, then that aunt, and then this somebody else, they're either going to destroy their body by not balancing in between, or they're not really being honest, because it takes a bit to move people in and out. And it's very, very exhausting. It's very trans channelers who literally will, and I know some very authentic, well, actually, they're dead now, but they're very authentic trans channelers, but they go into a trance, they leave their body, and then someone else plugs in. So, and energetically, it's a profound shift of energy. You can always tell if they're being legit or not. If there's not a profound shift of energy, it ain't real. But every cell of your body is being quickly altered in the energetic presence. And it's very hard. Most good trans channelers will only do a couple sessions a day, because it's very hard on their body, and they often die young because that energy is very jolting. It's like taking a 110 toaster and plugging it into a 220 line. Energetically, it's very taxing. So if you have someone who's saying they're doing all that, may be true, but I would say chances are maybe it's not so true. But that's where if you're feeling their energy, you're feeling it. I've been with some of the best known trans channelers, and there's no energy shift. They are trans channeling. They're pretending. It's called acting, and they're very good actors, but there's no energy shift. There's no change of beingness in their bodies. Okay. But ask your question quick, because I've got to unmute you. I mean,
The fire night, Tuesday. Did you have a date for that? You said Tuesday to do a campfire.
I think it's coming Tuesday. But if you're on my meetup, you'll get an announcement, because it means I've got to go and write up the meetup thing right now.
Okay. All right. I'm not sure if I'm
Okay.
on there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I've been told we need to do this. We can do one online too, Stacie, but this one Tuesday is in live. All right. I'm gonna mute you, because you've got a horrible thing going on there. Do all of you hear the horribleness of it?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got like a wind tunnel or something going. Okay, are we done, Stacie? Do we have any questions? I got an official closing.
Do you want me to go back? Hang on.
It's 9:14, folks. 3 hours and 15
right.
minutes.
We are officially live for our closing for Cosmic Conversations with Stacie Harder, me, and my mother, Dr. Heather Harder. Thank you.
Yes. And before we go into the closing, the workshops are $22 each. They're 2 hours and often run over, as you see things. There's no cost for our Thursday sessions. Every Thursday we do a session. Whatever comes up, comes up. If you want to make a donation to our work, you're welcome. We love donations, either through PayPal or through credit card or whatever. Stacie, if you want to type that information in there. If you want to recommend us to your friends and bring in other people next week, if you're on the live Zoom, you get the private little mini bits. If you're on the others, you can ask questions through Stacie, and we appreciate all of you who are here. All right. Really. Last chance for a question or comment before I do our official closing. Last question. Okay. Candace, you almost look angelic there with that lighting. I love that. You're all challenged now to bring your glasses next time. always your journal, your journal and your pen and paper, and then see if you can top Candace's mood experience. All right, so
Wait,
wherever you are.
Hang on a second. Sorry. Technical stuff. Technical things. It's coming. It's coming.
Sammy, if you'll type in your email address, I'll make sure that you get a list of what the different dates for the workshops are, because we'll work that out. Stacie and I will get that done and hopefully out tomorrow. She's so in it. And for those who I may not have your email, make sure you include your email, and you can do it through the private little message thing so that we can put it in our list.
Okay, hang on 2 seconds.
Candace? Okay, we're all just sitting here beaming, shining our light.
I know, I'm so good. Okay.
This little light of mine.
I just want to say we have our guest with us on Instagram who's been with us from the very beginning. So she has actually started and is wrapping up. So thank you for joining us.
Yay! Does she have a name?
Esme, still Esme, Esmeralda. I don't know where you're in.
Where's she from?
I don't know. I have just asked. It takes.
Tell your friends.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So we start with the light, and then we're coming to close. And let us close in the beauty of peace and understanding. Let us stay open to the gentle whispers of the universe and her teachings. Let love keep us warm, safe, and confident. Assist us to remember the gentle way, the compassionate path, the empowered highway of courage, and our commitment to our road of service. Remind us to stay open to the blessings and joy of our sacred journey and all those in the non-physical world who assist us in every way. Until next time, I remain your committed friend and send you loads of love and light and laughter until we meet again.
I love that. That gave me chills.
And me too.
I love that. I love that.
I'm so glad.
That was beautiful. So cool.
Thank you.
Well, again,
Everybody,
if you want
see
a
you next
copy.
week.
And I just want to say special thanks too for everybody that's joined us, whether you're on the Zoom with us, or if you're online with us. It's such a gift to be able to share and to be able to be on this journey together. And it is so important to have us come together and do this, because it literally is shifting so many, and you could feel the difference within yourself. So I just am so honored that you all have been a part of this journey together, and asking your questions. As you know, Mom loves her questions. So I just wanted to say thank you for spending your time with us. Love you.
Yeah.
See you next time at 6 o'clock with your friends. Bring your friends.
Thank you.
Love and light.
Honor all
Oh, wait, I'm gonna take a picture. I didn't forget to take your picture.
And there's one more question. I think, Josie, your wires might be going bad. And so I think part of what we're hearing is that wiring in and out. I feel like your headphones might be going off. Just
don't be mad.
An idea.
All right. What's the last question?
I think that's it. We're about to manifesting.
Okay. It would be kind of anticlimactic to do this lovely little ending and then keep asking ending questions. But anyway, until next time, again, if you want a private session, just email me,
Heather,
and we can set something up. Heather@heatherharder.com.
Yep. And then it's also heatherharder.com. And you can find me if you're messaging me, you know me, so you can find me there as well.
Wait, which one should we use for Heather? Heatherharder.com or?
Heather@heatherharder.com. Yes.
Oh.
Me directly. Stacie does not as of yet control my calendar, although she'd like to.
Yeah, because then it's a lot easier for me to be able to do what I do when I actually know.
So we're going to just direct contact me if you would like a private session.
Okay.
So
Or
just
you
tell
can-
me if we want a half hour or an hour.
Yeah.
And if you have just like a quick question, I don't mind, answering that email and stuff too. But if I schedule you, it's a half hour, an hour. So
And if any of you are very technically advanced, feel free to help share on how to set up scheduling online, because that would be a great option.
yeah,
Calendary.
I've done those calendars and I've paid for them and everything, and I never use them because it's
Complicated.
not
You want-
nice for my brain to work out. So
All right.
I've wasted money in those past.
And this
All
year,
right, I'm going to.
so much.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Y'all take care.